taxes, paying its Spark drivers $7 million collectively and $7 million to the state. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
3:58, time now for traffic and weather together on the 8s. Neil Fiorito.
On the expressways, we zoom in on the Eisenhower, a pretty tough delay inbound from Coster Avenue to Racine. Crews are on the scene cleaning up a crash with injuries. 2 right lanes remain blocked on the inbound side again at Racine. An hour 22 to get in from I-90, 50 coming in from Manheim. Metro wants to remind you to avoid delays like these in the future. Consider taking a train. The UP West line available out of Melrose Park. Pretty big delays brewing on the outbound side now from Ashland past Austin with a multi-vehicle crash in the left lane. 45 to now from Allen drive out to Manheim. An hour 7 to Daniel Stowaway. Most of the expressways are pretty active today. The tollways, our trouble spot is on the Veterans Memorial southbound past the North Avenue. That's a stall in the center lane. Traffic is pretty heavy from Lake Street. You have delays on Route 53 in the northwest burbs, northbound from 90 to Kirchhoff, and southbound from Euclid down to Algonquin Road. That's all long-term construction. Delays along I-80 through Joliet both ways, and then eastbound traffic through Tinley Park. Heavy in northwest Indiana on 8094 westbound in spots from Broadway all the way to Tri-State. Next report coming up at 4:08. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Sunshine, warmer rest of the day. High 86, cooler at the lakefront. Clear tonight, low 67.
Ooh,
sunshine, 83 degrees in Chicago.
You were right.
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM.
I'm Mallory Vorbroker. Mayor Brandon Johnson reignites Chicago's budget fight with aldermen.
This is Glenn Marshall. Chicago area man who violently attacked a restaurant owner over a loan is headed to federal prison.
And pressure building for a Democrat to exit the main Senate race. The latest next from ABC News. Sports, Cubs are in Baltimore. White Sox host Boston. In business.
Stocks end the day lower on worries about chip makers and overspending on AI. The Dow today down 131 points. The NASDAQ down 302. The S&P lower by 34. I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg.
Sunshine, warmer rest of the day. High 86, 83 degrees now. ABC News at 4 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor of Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. Pressure builds on Graham Plattner to exit the U.S. Senate race in Maine after an ex-girlfriend came forward to say he entered her home uninvited, nearly blackout drunk, and sexually assaulted her. Calls for his exit now also include fellow progressives Bernie Sanders and New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani.
The focus of today should be to respond to the gravity of what so many of us have read, and I think that the only appropriate response is for the campaign to come to an end.
New chaos in the Strait of Hormuz has oil 5% higher. Iran fired on 3 commercial tankers today and warned the U.S. not to retaliate. Evacuations in Manhattan for what appears to be a leaning skyscraper, as observed by ABC's Aaron Katersky, just outside of the evacuation zone on 42nd Street.
The chief of department for the FDNY said they are using specialized equipment to monitor even millimeter movements of the building and notice that it is moving. So it is not structurally sound. It is unsafe. That until it is deemed safe, this building and a number of others around here are all evacuated.
Charlie Kirk's accused assassin appears to be the person in a video played at a pretrial hearing today in Provo, Utah. ABC's Alex Stone is there.
These images showed who the police are saying is Tyler Robinson arriving on campus, leaving campus, and then going up onto the rooftop. And Erica Kirk and other family members, when the image goes up onto the rooftop to presumably commit the murder, that they left at that time. But even earlier in the video, Erica Kirk was dabbing tears away. His parents, Charlie Kirk's parents, they were crying as well.
A conviction could get Robinson death by injection or by firing squad. There's been a fatal ICE shooting in Houston. An ICE person says officers shot and killed a Mexican national this morning after he allegedly attempted to evade arrest and tried to run over an officer. Stocks closed lower today. You're listening to ABC News.
Hey Chicagoland, Jeff from Jeff Buys Your House. The military taught me that every mission is different. You assess the situation, listen to your team, then execute a plan built around what's needed. Same with
So I shot somebody in Houston. I have to dig up that case for everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's 4:02 p.m. Let's listen to the local news, and then we'll maybe put on some radio calls. Maybe we'll do some talking. We'll see what's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's kind of low. in news. That's what happens around the summertime, but we'll see what happens. Thanks for tuning in. It's 4:02 p.m.
Since 2007, our veteran-led team has earned hundreds of 5-star reviews by doing exactly that, listening first, and treating every family with respect. If you're ready for a no-obligation conversation, call us at 630-593-7493. That's 630-593-7493 or jeffbuysyourhouse.com. That's jeffbuysyourhouse.com.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 and WBMNewsRadio.com.
4:03, Tuesday, July 7th. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today on a beautiful day in Chicago. A little toasty. I'm Andy Dane in for Lisa Fielding. Sunshine, 85 degrees right now. AccuWeather says sunny skies, warmer conditions for the rest of the afternoon. A high of 86, a little cooler along the lakefront. Clear skies for you tonight, down to a low of 67 degrees. An even warmer day tomorrow as temperatures near the 90-degree mark. We'll see some showers and storms later in the week. The details coming up in the 5-day forecast at 4:15. Our top local story here on News Radio WBBM. Mayor Brandon Johnson warning Chicagoans of a $130 million budget shortfall this year. WBBM's Mallory Vorbroker with details.
Half a year into the so-called alternative budget, backed by a group of Chicago aldermen and passed without the support of Mayor Johnson, he says the plan to raise $90 million by selling unpaid fines and fees to private companies has failed, while his progressive revenue ideas are delivering results.
We can go back to the style in which 1.6% of our budget did, which now we have a $130 million shortfall, or we can look at how every single progressive revenue source that I put forward is overperforming.
And the mayor isn't letting go of his idea to make the wealthiest pay in Chicago.
Every single revenue source of which we have challenged big corporations and those with means to put more skin in the game, all of those revenue sources are overperforming.
He says he's already reached out to Illinois House Speaker Chris Welch to talk about next year's budget and a millionaire's tax. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A new Illinois law allowing barbers and cosmetologists to learn and earn under a new apprenticeship program. Noah Bazis with the Institute for Justice says in Illinois, it takes 1,500 hours of education before someone can earn money as a barber, a process that can take over 2 years part-time and cost thousands of dollars.
That works out to be about 350 working days lost to that training. So it's 1,500 hours, an exam, and there are, a variety of fees that you have to pay as well. But that's really what we're looking at. From our perspective at the Institute for Justice, we're really concerned about the barriers to employment, that are keeping people out.
Illinois joins 40 other states in providing an apprenticeship pathway for beauty and barbering licenses. A Chicago area man who violently attacked a restaurant owner over a loan is now headed to federal prison.
A federal judge has sentenced 46-year-old Juan Facron to 6.5 years in prison for extorting a Lincoln Park restaurant owner he had loaned more than $400,000. Prosecutors say Facron confronted the man on Thanksgiving Eve 2024, choking, kicking, and punching him while threatening to kill him and his family over repayment. A federal jury convicted him on both extortion counts. Prosecutors argued the business disputes belong in courtrooms, not in violent public confrontations. Facron is not a legal U.S. citizen. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9.
So an illegal criminal.
Illinois detectives investigating a homicide in Mundelein this morning. Authorities say around 11:40, police were dispatched to an apartment in the 500 block of Deep Woods Drive. Following reports, 2 people had been shot. They found one woman with serious but non-life-threatening injuries, a man who later died at a hospital. Mundelein police obtained a description of suspects, and they were arrested at the Indiana border. Investigators calling this a targeted domestic-related incident. The police chief in Joliet reviewing the response to a teen takeover during the city's July 4th celebration, where police made a handful of arrests.
Witnesses, including the police chief, said over 100 teens were involved, running all over the place and shooting fireworks, Roman candles at families and police officers. Parent Megan Cooper was there.
I don't think that it's fair that people can actually enjoy the festivities activities in a safe environment without the fear of somebody's stupidity causing serious injury or even death.
She said the kids showed zero respect for law enforcement and neighbors. The interim police chief, Robert Brown, told the Herald News they didn't want to arrest the kids, but they ignored repeated warnings to leave. Some scuffled with officers and surrounded them as they were breaking up the gathering. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
At 4:08, let's get an update of traffic and weather together on the 8s with Neil Fiorito.
So, thanks for tuning in. SubX.News on the spot reporting. There you go. You got two people or one person sitting there, right? Collecting money, right? From the 7-Eleven. Drug dealer. Those are drug dealers. They're not collecting money for anything else. There's two of them right there. Right? Two. Drug dealers. Two drug dealers. Right, two drug dealers right in front of the 7-Eleven every day. Milk crates. Right. So, imagine we have a police chief in the same interview, you just heard it, where a citizen, a resident that pays his salary, that elects the people that get him the job. Maybe, I don't know if the police chief in Joliet gets elected or not. The sheriff gets elected here. I think we should switch to the police person gets elected in Chicago too. I think that would be a good thing. So these mayors can't switch them, and we do it in an alternative. See, how about that? You see, I was just talking to my wife about this. There's so many of these candidates out here. None of them are doing shit. I'm serious, bros. I got a whole bunch of you that follow me. You repost my stuff. You go do the things that I do. You're cool, man. I'm all right with that. Well, I'll tell you this. None of you are running for office. None of you are. You're not coming up with ideas. You're not coming up with solutions. I don't see you at things that happen like disasters, shootings, or any other activities where that's where a guy that wants to be the mayor, a man or a woman wants to be the mayor, should be. You should be there. When something happens, you should be there. Even if the mayor is there, you should be there. You should be there and challenge him when there's a shooting, when there's a news conference, when there's something going on, you should be there. So you're not doing your job. That's why this happened. That's the mayor I want to vote for. I want to vote for somebody who's doing something. Now I'll say this. You could put out proposals to say what you're going to do to fix it. And you're not. You're not. There's concrete things that people can do and say what they're going to do when they're going to be mayor, when they're elected. And you can do some things by executive order, which I don't like, but you can do it. You can reverse some of this guy's executive orders. You can do first thing. I'm going to abolish all of these fake offices that Brandon Johnson created. I'm going to fire everybody that he hired, and I'm going to re-interview them to make sure they're loyal to the citizens and not loyal to a party. That's the first thing I would want to vote for. I don't even care about the cops. I don't care about the fire department. I don't care anything. If you get in there and you don't get rid of these people that Brandon Johnson hired, we ain't going nowhere. It's going to be the same thing. You'll see. That's what you need to do, right? And why don't you make proposals? I mean, I put one out there, didn't I? The proposal for a sanctuary city or something like that, or the teen trend proposal. Make a thing that if the mayor is ever against arresting teens, and whenever there's a teen trend, he must be there on site, and he's not to use police or whatever it is, right? Like he wants to do treatment, not trauma. You kind of get what I'm saying? Another proposal you could do if you're running for election. Why don't you make the Chicago police chief electable on off years? So the mayor is elected every 2 years, right? So why don't you alternate that in the middle of the election cycle? There you go, drug dealing, right? There you go, right? Something just happened here, right? They do drugs in the back over there, right? He's watching them. They're drug addicts back there, right? They're all drug addicts back there, right? That's why it was all shot up here the other day. So now the cops are going back there having them to clean it up, right? So why don't you make this proposal? It doesn't cost us anything. This proposal doesn't cost us anything. An election cycle, that's it. You put the guy on the ballot, or the woman, and say, look, from this day forward, all Chicago police superintendents will be elected. They must have law enforcement credentials. You can't hire or elect people who are non-law enforcement. They must be credentials, so they have to have gone through the classes certification through the states and the feds, I think. And that's it. And then you can even put minimum qualification. Must have done this, must have done that. I don't know, you can do that. That's like they do with the president. You can say it's on the alternate year of the mayoral election. So if the mayoral election is next year in 2027, the police superintendent election will be in 2029. And you write it. So that what? Oh man, that's a nice car there. Look at that. That's a wild car there. Show you this car here. There, look at that one. That's one of them race cars there. That's a Fast and Furious car there, man. That's a wild car there. You kind of get what I'm saying? And this is what I don't see. This is what I'm saying. I don't see any of that coming out of the candidates. None. Zero. You know how I know this? You know, because I helped get CORE, the people who run the union, elected. I was part of a coalition of people. I was the grievance guy. I was the contract enforcement guy. I was that guy. I knew how to do that. They liked what I did because I would be on the news all the time. I was filing my own grievances, and I was that guy. I was like the sheriff guy, right? Or the rules enforcer, or whatever you want to call it. I wasn't really the rules enforcer. I was the guy that said, hey, you're breaking the rule, and this is how we got to fix it. That's why they hired me, right? And that's how I helped get them elected, CORE. I wasn't the only one who got them elected, but I was part of a coalition to get the last group out. That was in 2000s, right? 2010, right? We started in 2008. So for us to get elected took 2 years, and we did multiple things. We ran multiple candidates. We also did, why do I say this thing about the sheriffs or proposals or teen trends or these things, and people make fun of me when I do that? Well, that's what we did. We did that. We made proposals. We made budgets. We did a people's budget. I studied the budget of the Chicago Public Schools. We created our own budgets. We found corruption. The UNO scandal, where he was paying for the windows of his brother or son, was installing the windows in the UNO schools, right? Which UNOs were semi-public at the time. So you could do a little corruption. You know, private companies can hire their own buddies. There's no laws against it. But since I think they were getting some public money, it became corruption. Juan Rangel, you know, they removed him. He had to quit. There's some queen or something like that, man. What is she? Some 2025 queen. See that there? She wants something. She's got a sash over there. See that there? And we were doing all of these things, and part of our budget studies is we found these corruptive things, right? And we got rid of people, we changed budgets, we challenged the budgets, we got people removed from office, we stopped people, we did all things. It wasn't only me, it was a lot of people. George Schmidt was part of it, because he was around for a while. Kirk Hildendorf, who's now inside, I don't know if he's still the lobbyist or he's doing some CPA stuff, and he's not a CPA, he was there. And that's about all the guys I would say. Jackson Potter, naturally, he was around for all of that stuff, right? And then there was other groups that did other things. But the reason I'm talking now about this is I don't see that. What did I say? 2008 to win the 2010 election. It's called backwards mapping. It's backwards mapping. I studied that too with some huge national and international organizers. I went to multiple days of training with guys who wrote books on organizing. National, and international job actions and all of that stuff. Right? So I studied that stuff with people who wrote books on organizing, right? Naturally, Chicago is the organizing capital. Everybody knows that. We're the center of the labor movement. There is no other center of the labor movement. It's Chicago. So, first of all, you got to win labor. So you got to talk about making cuts and making efficiencies and not cutting organized labor. So two things you need to do. You got to start talking about proposals, what you would change. The easy thing is you're going to have an elected police superintendent. You can say, well, John, you're introducing more politics into the system. This is what I'm saying. If you want to avoid another Brandon Johnson getting in and changing police policies, then that's what you do. You make the police department independent. If they want to change policies, hopefully you can do this too and try to change it beforehand. You tell them they have to run major policies like no arrest policies have to be run through voter referendum. You can't be putting a no arrest. You know, there's a no teenager arrest policy. There's a no chase policy. There's no pursuit policies. There's all kinds of policies out there now. Now everybody knows that ever since Adam Toledo, since Lightfoot days. So what? And also since Rahm days, when Rahm messed that up with Laquan McDonald, the cover-up. Rahm did that. He covered it up, right? That's where the whole BLM movement got its foothold in Chicago because of Laquan McDonald. 16 shots, right? They shot a kid in the back and on the ground. Come on, you can't shoot a kid when he's on the ground, man. And he had a knife and there's 4 or 5 cops around him. You kept shooting him while he's on the ground. You could have shot him in the leg. He wasn't a danger to you once he fell and the guy kept shooting him, right? That was who was that? Van Dyke, right? I forget all those guys, right? Now that shooter in that killed Miss Massey wants to get out of prison because he's got cancer. Well, Miss Massey can't be alive, dude. You kind of killed her, man. And she had a pot of hot water and you shot her. Yeah, I don't know. A pot of hot water and a gun, those two don't mix, right? And she called, imagine this. She called for help and he killed her. Yeah, and then they found out that he shouldn't have been working anyways because he had discipline issues in other districts. See, these are the things that I'm talking about. See, you can do police reform. You can do social justice. And you can do law and order. You can do both. In fact, those are two that are the same. Social justice and law and order go hand in hand because why? You can provide social justice to the most disadvantaged, and I'm looking for a word that's escaping me now. Disenfranchised. The most disenfranchised groups, you can give them power through law and order. You can give it to them. Like these homeless guys, right? They're living under the bridges, right? Say you need to go and find a shelter. Well, now the shelter, he goes, well, I go to the shelter, I have a drug problem, or I have this problem, and they don't help me. So now the cop logs it. Law and order, right? The cop logs it. Think about this, right? This is what you get when you get an elected independent police force that's for law and order. And we're going to spend a little time on this. I don't see anyone doing this. No one. And if you steal my ideas, that's fine with me. I could care less. They're ideas. So the homeless guy says, look, man, I got a drug problem. I can't get into the shelter, or they threw me out of the shelter, blah, 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 whatever, right? And then I help him out. So the cop says, all right, you can't be here. You need to go there. And we got to set up another system. We used to have a drunk tank. We used to have different places where we can drop people off. I was dropped off at those places. When I was ripping and running, when I was on alcohol, I was homeless, I was using substances on the streets, there was places where we could go, right? I don't know if they're still there. I don't know what's the rules. I don't know any of that stuff. I've been out of that. I've been sober 30 years, so I don't know any of that kind of stuff, right, anymore. That's why I talk to the guys on the streets to figure out what's going on. So the next step, the cop tells the guy, well, you can't be out here. You got to be here. And the guy says, well, I don't want to do this. So look, you can't be here, right? It's unsafe for you and unsafe for others. I understand. And then you figure out where we can put those people. That's another part of this. There's no homeless plan, right? What to do with the homeless. Talking about affordable housing is not fighting homelessness. That's a lie. That's a lie. Because homelessness is not about affordable housing. It never has been. Everybody understands that? Homelessness is not about housing. It never has been and never will be. Go talk to people who are homeless. Go talk to them. Figure out what their problems are. They're not saying they can't afford it. Some of those homeless people might have more money in their back pocket or bank than you do. So then what do you do as the cop? You say, look, you can't be here. This is what we're going to do. We're going to put you over here. We're going to do this and this. And there might be a little argument with the homeless guy or whatever, or the addicted person or the returning citizen or whatever else issues they might have. And then what does the cop do? If you have real law enforcement, right, that does their jobs, the cop would call the shelter and say, look, this guy says he went there and you refused him entry. Now, either they're going to say yes or no, right? And if they say no, you can check their logs and see if they're lying. So that's how you do law and order. You start seeing where the problem is, right? Where is the problem? Where's the nexus of it, right? There you go. You got a guy dealing right there, right? That guy's dealing right there. They're inside their McDonald's. They deal drugs out of there. And then you figure out if the shelter's lying or he's lying, then you decide that. If he's lying, you say you can't be here and lock him up the next time because he was a liar, right? The homeless person. The lady walked right across the green light, right? See that lady, she walked right across the green light, right? If you find out that the shelter's lying, that they're not helping the people, now you talk to your boss. That's why you have some of these interagency things. It's good. You can have some kind of chief of staff or something like that. Some of those ideas Brandon has aren't that bad, but they're crony operations under Brandon. And then the guy said, look, I called up the Department of Housing. I went to this shelter. This guy said they gave him a problem, and I called up. They kind of lied, but I figured, yeah, they're the problem here. So now what? The boss of the housing calls up the shelter or the boss of the shelter and said, look, what are you guys doing? And then you figure it out. See, that's how law and order is social justice. People think law and order is anti-social justice. It's not. It's social justice. And this is how I learned that. There's a line. What's up? Hey, what's up, sweetie? They're out there. They're high right now. They got their checks. They're stoned. And this is how I learned law and order is social justice. I learned this at Fort Benning. I think I told this story before. I went down there. They have two. They have a boot camp graduation. They have a turning blue. I don't know which one that is, right? They have one where they have the one sash and then they get the other sash. They get two sashes nowadays. When slavery was abolished, and again we talked about for Juneteenth what that meant. That's the general enforcing the order, right? Enforcing the Emancipation Proclamation. It was the army. And this is what I learned at Fort Benning. Because that was a southern fort, right? And they have an old display and they talked about this stuff. That the freed slaves came to the army because they couldn't trust the local sheriff or the police because they were the Ku Klux Klan. So the only people they could trust is who? The feds. Because they had these forts. They had just won the war. And that's where freed slaves could go for safety from the Ku Klux Klan and the slave catchers, right? And who was against the military? I said this before, right? Who's against the military and who's against the cops? The Democrats. The same military, the same cops that protected the free slaves. So that's how you know what social justice is. And the reason I'm talking about this long-winded thing here. And we're going to listen to the local news now at 4:30, right? Because you don't hear none of that kind of speaking. Zero. I ain't afraid to talk about social justice, right? I believe in social justice. I'm an immigrant. My children are biracial. My wife's Asian. Got that? If you speak to my mom and my dad, you know they're from the old country because of their accents. They've been here, I don't know, since the 70s. 50 years they've been in this country. I came when I was 2 years old. I'm 58. That's 56 years. They still have the hard accent in the old country. You know they're from the old country. But they'll tell you what social justice is. Social justice is when the law protects everyone equally. Equally. And gives everyone opportunity. It's equality and opportunity. And through the rule of law, when you enforce the law equally and appropriately for everybody, then it becomes social justice and it becomes fair for everybody. When you let criminals out of prison who go and kill 10-year-old kids, or when there's orders of protection and the guy goes and kills the mother of 3 right down the street from me, or you got guys on electronic monitoring somehow breaking into buildings while they're on electronic monitoring. How does that happen? How are you on electronic monitoring? This is the just was out in CWB Monday. Look it up. CWB has an article, came out Monday. I might put it on my page. There was a guy on electronic monitoring for burglarizing, doing whatever. Burglarizing. The monitor was on his ankle while he was burglarizing houses. How did that happen? How do you do crimes, breaking into people's homes at night while you have an ankle bracelet on you? Doesn't that beep or something like that? Say beep, 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 he's in somebody else's house. Beep, 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 he's 10 miles from his house. Beep, 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 whose house is this? It's not one of these on the list that he says is his friends. He might be breaking into this house. He might be doing drugs in this house. Maybe he's doing other crime in this house. See, that's social justice. When you apply the law equally. When it's unequally applied, it's not social justice. 4:30, this is the local news.
4:29. Amazon Business. Right. Unlock smart business.
That's the point. And that's why there. You want to see social justice? Look at this guy. He has no shoes and he's jacked up. See that guy there? He's on drugs right here, right? This guy's on drugs. See him right there? That guy's on drugs. He doesn't have no shoes on. See that there? He's standing right in front of the door.
Charges are filed in the shooting death of a 10-year-old Chicago boy in Gary over the weekend.
I'm Mallory Vorbroker, and new measure opens a path forward to prevent beauty school dropouts in Illinois.
A $12 million pilot project now underway on Chicago's west side to store excess stormwater underground. Plus, President Trump renews his calls for the U.S. to take over Greenland at the NATO summit. Sports, White Sox hosting Boston tonight. The Cubs take on the Orioles in Baltimore. In business,
I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg. Wall Street ends lower. Oil moved higher today. The Dow down 131 points. The tech-heavy NASDAQ took the worst of it, down 302. And the S&P lost 34.
AccuWeather says clear skies for tonight, down to a low of 67 degrees. Right now, mostly sunny in Chicago, 85 degrees.
They just came to meet him. That guy that did
Topping our news of this half hour, murder and attempted murder charges are now filed against a 31-year-old Chicago man accused of shooting and killing a 10-year-old Chicago boy and wounding another person over the weekend in Gary.
Ernesto Posadas was at a family gathering on the 200 block of Chase Street in Gary on Saturday afternoon, and according to police, he got into a fight with his girlfriend and left. It's alleged he returned early on Sunday morning. The probable cause affidavit says he was seen on a doorbell camera in daylight before the shooting wearing a distinctive Chicago Bears shirt, and he was seen in the same shirt early on Sunday morning, arriving back at the home with an unidentified man. It says both men fired multiple shots at the home, killing 10-year-old Montana Weathers and wounding a 51-year-old man. The boy was shot in the head. Police say license plate readers were used to track a vehicle, and Posadas was pulled over later on Sunday on 8094 and was arrested. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A new bill making it more affordable for Illinoisans to attend beauty school.
The bill signed into law by Governor Pritzker creates an apprentice program that gives businesses the option to hire and train students in the same curriculum required by the state for a wage. Noah Bezos, Illinois legislative strategist for the Institute for Justice Clinic on Entrepreneurship, says the average cost of cosmetology school is about $17,000. And many students struggle to complete the education and take on debt.
So about 75% of cosmetology students in Illinois will need to take out a federal student loan, and oftentimes because of life circumstances or affordability or what have you, only about 30 or so percent graduate exactly on time.
The bill offers barbers, cosmetologists, estheticians, braiders, and nail technicians a new path forward. Mallory Vorberger, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Mayor Johnson today announced the city's inaugural appointments to the Northern Illinois Transit Authority, or NITA, Board of Directors, as well as appointments to the CTA, Metro, and PACE boards. NITA was established under the Northern Illinois Transit Authority Act to improve coordination across regional transit agencies. It's responsible for planning, integrating services, and supporting a more reliable transit network for riders across Northern Illinois. 3 years after intense rains ruined basements all over Chicago's west side, the city turning to a more localized plan to prevent flooding.
2 of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District's massive reservoirs are nearly full after we saw a month's worth of rain in just 2 days. President Carrie Steele says they're working with the city to install underground storage here on the west side.
To meet those challenges in older American cities, we must be creative in our efforts.
Deputy Water Commissioner Brendan Schreiber says the tanks will hold stormwater due to the pressure between what's coming in from the street and what's going out into the larger sewer system.
We take it off through a pipe, so we big 24-inch, 48-inch diameter pipe will fill it, but then we put it back into the same system through a straw.
A block away from that announcement, Dorothy sat on her front porch, skeptical of promises to stop flooding that has ruined the basement of her brick bungalow many times over the years.
When I see it, I will believe it.
In North Austin, Nancy Hardy, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
At 4:45, President Trump once again discussing Greenland.
President Trump is reviving an old demand, likely to rattle NATO allies he's meeting with in Turkey. The president acknowledges it's caused a rift in the past. But he did it again today in Ankara, insisting the U.S. take over Greenland.
That should be controlled by the United States, not by Denmark.
Calling the semi-autonomous island an important part for the U.S., while repeating a false claim.
It's surrounded by China ships and Russian ships.
NATO was founded on the principle that members will defend each other's territory, not threaten to seize it. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
A few blocks on New York's east side have been evacuated due to structural issues with a high-rise building being renovated. The building was being retrofitted for apartments where workers noticed bricks falling and columns buckling on the 21st and 22nd floors. ABC's Aaron Katursky is on scene.
The FDNY shut down 42nd Street and a number of adjacent blocks out of an abundance of caution while the Department of Buildings and its structural engineers try to figure out how to render this place safe. For now, everybody is out, nobody is allowed in, and a number of buildings, including residential, commercial, even a hotel, remain evacuated.
The tower is part of the city's largest office-to-residential conversion project with over 1,600 planned units. We'll update traffic, weather, and some low gas prices in the area just ahead. It's 4:36.
Need a new AC before the summer heat really sets in? Help is just around the corner with ABC.
They were smoking dope right there, right in front of people. Right there, they're blowing the smoke right there, right behind me. There's people all around and they're just blowing the smoke in their faces. Right there, right behind me. It's illegal to smoke weed in public. It's illegal. Even if you have a medical marijuana card. It's illegal. Illegal. I tell the cop when I told the cop once, I said, there's a bunch of dudes smoking dope right there on the side. How do you know it's dope? I said, oh, so it's my fault now. And they looked at me, yeah, it is your fault. There you go, right there. Smoking dope right in front of people. So what do we see so far? Right, we've seen homeless people. We've seen migrants begging, and we've seen dope smoking within what, last half hour of our show, right? It's in a half hour. That's what we see, right? There you go. Is that guy getting some help? Look at that guy there. What's he doing? Is he getting help?
Sponsored by PackyWebFord.com and the PackyWeb Ford True Price Pledge. It's your assurance that the low price you see online and in store is the low price you will pay with no hidden
So let's go back to solutions, right? So think about it. An elected police superintendent, where major policies would have to be voted through either referendum or majority vote somehow, right? And you can do all this electronically. You could set up votings with QRC codes where no one can cheat, right? You could do QRC voting, right? Other countries already do this stuff. So you can set up an independent police district, independent with a budget. You cut their budget out of the mayor's hands so the mayor can't manipulate it. Have a direct budget like the schools have, right? And they have to manage their own budget with an elected person. Think about that. Beholden to the people, not beholden to what? To the mayor. Every time a new Tom, Dick, and Harry comes into town, what? They change what the fuck they want to do. Sorry about my language there, but that's what we're dealing with. Look at Trump. He comes in, he hires a bunch of people. They shoot a bunch of people up on ICE, right? They just shot a bunch of people. They just shot somebody in Houston. Yeah, you need to be deporting people, not shooting people. I get it. You need to shoot them. Maybe he's trying to hurt you. I understand that. You have a right. Police officers have a right to protect themselves. I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying that. But that's what happens. So the next president is going to say what? Well, yeah, we're not going to do that. So now all you ICE officers, I'm going to take your guns from you. So now we go the opposite direction. And that's what's happening in Chicago, right? We go back and forth and back and forth. So the first thing maybe to stabilize our police department is what? Make it elected. See, and look, is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? I have no clue. I don't know how that would work out. We can check out municipalities that have elected sheriffs and elected police superintendents or whatever it may be, and check that out. But I know for sure, electing somebody because he says he's going to cut the police and he's an abolisher, and then the next guy says he's going to be law and order, that's kind of getting tiring. It's a seesaw effect, right? You get tired of that. I just talked to somebody on Twitter, I don't know, one of my posts, I forget which one it was, and he said, yeah, something that we're being manipulated, whatever it may be, right? And we agreed. I said, both sides are playing us for fools. And his answer to me was, yes, because we're fools. We let them do that to us, right? We allow them to do that. We allow these elected people to do that. There's a good thing. I'm going to pull up something. I was watching some Greek documentary. I don't know what this was. It was a History Channel. It was over the weekend. And they used to, and I'm gonna put a note in this video now to say, look up, what was the word they used? It was the original word for grievances, I think. So what the Greeks had, and they had excommunicato. That's where that word comes from the Greek. They used to excommunicate people that harmed the cities. So every year, every so often, I have to look this up. It's a whole elaborate thing. The cities or the townships or whoever could vote would vote and say, who is harming our place? It's politicians mostly, right? So if they got a certain amount of votes, they were expelled from the city for 10 years. 10 years. The citizens voted on this. They didn't wait till the next election. They didn't wait to let them damage it. They voted to remove the person entirely from the municipality. Look at us. We're like, oh, let's wait. And we're going to wait for Brandon Johnson. So what am I talking about today? There's no one doing anything. And you can say, well, Mendoza's doing stuff. Danielle is doing stuff. I don't know who else is out there. Is anybody else doing anything? I don't see anybody else doing anything, right? These guys are out here, right? I don't know what these guys are doing, man. They're out here doing their thing, man, right? Yeah, man, they're banging out there. That's gang banging there. That's what they're doing. There's a whole crew out there, man. It's rough out here. They must have pushed him from something or something. I don't know what's. There's a lot of people here. And I'm not insulting anybody. I'm just telling you what I see and what I'm observing, right? I'm not seeing anybody doing anything. And you can say, well, we got a lot of time yet to win the election. Well, then I'm not going to vote for you. Huh? What? You talking to me? I ain't recording you, bro. Don't do nothing illegal. You be alright. And don't do it on the street, brother. Now, fuck. Here, bro. Fuck you, bro. What are you gonna do? Kill me? You gonna shoot me, motherfucker? Oh, is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna jump in my truck? You're gonna jump in my truck, right? There you go, right? I told you they're banging out here. They're banging here, right? They're not making videos, they're gang banging. Got that? Got it. I was just threatened here, right? Get the fuck on. See how it is? So what? I'm driving. I ain't doing that. Did you hear me saying anything about anybody? I said they're gang banging out there, right? All right, there'll be a guy running up this way soon. You'll see. He'll run up right here. And they're coming up this way, right? That's what you got to deal with, right? Criminality. And this is what I got to say. I helped run some elections in the past. I helped win. You have to win, you have to lose. There's all different ways of learning how to do elections and how to take power. If you want true power, right? That's what they do. They threaten you. They say, we're going to beat your ass, right? That's what they're going to, what are you going to jump in and kill me? You're going to jump on my car? What are you going to try to come into my car? Oh, what? What is that? I'm driving my car, doing my thing, and you're talking shit to me. There you go. You got to, and that's what you got there, right? You got Brandon Johnson signs everywhere. See that there? See that illegal sign there? It's got his name on it. What happens when he gets unelected? What happens when he gets unelected? You have to take those off, right? That's branding for the mayor, and it shouldn't be on a city truck. He's illegally using trucks for election purposes. Got that. There's all kinds of people out here. You gotta watch. Right? It's really dangerous out here. I can roll up my windows in case these guys run up on me. I gotta leave me some space here. It's getting dangerous here, right? They're getting pushed around, right? So, what I see, and they're all dealing drugs here, man, is there's no one doing that. And you can say, oh, we're running a campaign, we're doing this, John, we're doing that. You know, if you're working on getting elected, that's not the person I want running my city. You kind of get where I'm going with this or not? If you're running for an election, why would I want you to be the next mayor? I'm not going to vote for Brandon Johnson. Believe me, I don't care if he wins, but I won't vote for him. But you kind of get where I'm going with that one? If you're not doing the things to be the person who wants to run this city, then why should people vote for you? If you're not proposing laws, if you're not proposing ordinances, if you're not going out and comforting people when they're shot or whatever it is, right? I don't know what it is, right? It's bad down there, man. I haven't had that kind of a problem down there since the migrants. So it must be bad. They're fighting for the drugs, right? But you kind of get where I'm going with that? And if you're telling me that it's enough time to election is coming up in February, well, no, it's not. If you're worried about getting elected, then that's not the person I want to vote for. I don't know if I'm making myself clear here. If you're running for election, then why would I vote for you? What's the purpose of voting for you, right? What are you doing as a candidate, or whatever you're doing today, that one affects me and makes my life better, or does something about it, to tell me that if I vote for you, that's what I can expect? You telling me you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do that. Well, that's what every other politician does, don't they? They promise us stuff, right? That's a dangerous area there. That means they lost control. The Chicago police have lost control of that area. They must be concentrating up here, so then they move down here, right? I'll have to talk to some people I know. That's dangerous down over there. And this is some radio calls. But you kind of get it about elected office. That's cool. If they're looking for your vote instead of wanting to govern, then that's not the people you want to vote for. I'm going to be honest with you. Again, I'm not going to vote for Brandon Johnson, but I'm not going to vote for people who say I should vote for him. That should come naturally. You kind of get what I'm saying? A leader should be a leader. They should lead. A leader doesn't say vote for me. A leader leads. That's it. They lead. They lead by example. They do the things they need to do, including the things they need to do to be elected. Including the things that you need to do to be elected. Alternative budgets, safety plans, educational plans, investment plans, gentrification. Even have gentrification plans. Yeah, because what I showed you yesterday, all we seen was gentrification. You should have a gentrification plan. What is it? What are they going to do in downtown? That thing that happened in 09500. That thing that's going on in downtown. By the way, those 3 guys that were about 20 feet from my truck, they're saying, don't film us. I said, I'm not filming you. And they said, you can't film us. I said, look, don't do nothing on the street. You'll be just fine. And they started saying, well, we're going to beat your ass. And I said, yeah, you are. What are you going to do? You heard me what I said. So that's the thing that you need to deal with. And it's not the first time I've been threatened down here in the city. So I'm in my car and I get threatened by people who are doing drugs on a sidewalk in the middle of my downtown. That's what happened today. That's what happened today. If I make a complaint, the cop's going to say, who is it and what were they doing? And I say, it's those guys over there. I said, well, we don't know who those guys are. And they lie because they know who it was. So what's the plan? Mendoza, Carter, what's the plan with those guys? You're going to lock them all up? Is that how you're going to deal with that? You think that's going to help to lock everyone up? What are you going to lock them up for? Standing around smoking weed? That's a year maybe in jail. That's a misdemeanor, right? Do you see the thing here that I'm talking about the planning, about what you're going to do? What's the plan? What are you doing? And then I'll end with this before the 5 o'clock news. When we were running for office, and I don't know why nobody's hired me yet, but that's all right. No one likes me. The Republicans don't like me as much as the Democrats. Trust me, I've met with the Republicans before. I spent hours with the head guys in this area. Hours in a room with them. They didn't do shit. They didn't do shit and they bullshitted me. They blew smoke up my ass, right? Yeah, fuck them too. I don't give a fuck. The point is this. Why don't we hear nothing like this? Why don't we hear what's gonna happen? What are you doing? Are you doing patrols? Is any of the candidates going out at night to Teen Trends? Are they going and talking to those guys? Right there, it's right on my video, you just seen it. Why don't a politician, one of these politicians, go over there and say, yeah, why are you talking shit to the dude that's in his car, man? Well, he's video. No, you're fucking with people in cars, bro. You kind of get where I'm going with this? Law and order, social justice. That's what I'm talking about. Brandon Johnson's twisted it, right? He's saying social justice gets accomplished by giving certain groups more privileges, which is a lie. That's absolute wrong. That's actually oppression. It's oppression. When you pick one group over the other, that's oppression of both groups. You're oppressing the group that you don't give stuff to, and you're oppressing the person that you give them more stuff to. Why? Because you can take it away then. That's why equality is so important. You treat everybody equally, right? Because when you treat everybody equally, no one has a gripe. When all the businesses get an equal fair share to be part of the pie, right? Then no one has a grievance. No one has a grudge. There'll always be grudges and grievances, but you kind of get where I'm going with this, right? And why am I keep talking about this now? Why am I keep talking about this? Because no one is doing this. No one is doing this. I don't see anyone doing any of this type of work right now in the city. I don't know. Jamal was doing it for a little while, right? I don't know what happened. He kind of was taking care of it. He got a little sick there, I seen. I hope he's all right. I know he got something about a month or two ago. Remember that? And he fell out. So hopefully he's all right. But you kind of get where I'm going with this? There's no one doing what we need them to do. So what does that tell me as a voter or future voter? Well, they're all the same. They just want my vote. They want me to vote for them because they're promising me something instead of what? Doing something for me to vote for. Do some work. Do some work. Make some changes. Do something where I can see what you're doing. Don't tell me what you've done in the past. What you've done as an elected official. You know, when you go on TV telling me you have this many arrests, that's your job. I don't want to hear how many arrests you have. I want to hear how many murders happened. Well, there's 2 murders. You didn't do those 2, right? So you need to fix that. Tell me you have 5 arrests. No, I don't care about that. That's your job. I want to hear how you prevented things, right? I want to hear how people got businesses. I want to hear how people in domestic abuse situations feel safe, right? We don't hear that, do we? All we hear is we need a new task force, we need more money, and we need to change the law because of something, right? There was just a new law they want to propose or something. It was about 2-3 weeks ago about something, and there's already a law on the books. There's already a law that says that. They're just not enforcing it. So then they said they're going to make a new law. I don't know what they're doing. So I'm going on and on and on about that. So let's just leave it at that. Look at who's doing what. Not what they're promising. Not even what they're posting on the internet. Posting on the internet don't mean anything. What concrete things are people doing to change what's happening to us as residents of the city of Chicago? That's what you want to look at. We already know one guy, he's doing negative stuff, right? So now we got to look at the other people. What are they going to do differently that's going to positively affect who? Everyone. That's going to make it better. That when you're driving downtown, you don't have a bunch of gangbangers saying they're going to beat your ass while you're driving your thing, right? I don't know. That's kind of weird, right? I don't get that. You're threatening people you don't know in cars, right? That's how life goes, I guess. All right, let's listen to the news, right? It's coming up.
Frequency mode. I get a one blue line and then the medical district.
Yeah, that is 09601.
That dude was jacked up. It's all over, right? That stuff is everywhere, right? It's everywhere in our city.
Gentrification citywide robbery just occurred. Sheridan Broadway, Hill Black, or Millicent and Gray Shirt, short rip necklace off the collar's neck. Plastic header northbound on Sheridan at the furthest zone. 19th District Radio.
Sheridan Broadway robbery. Ripped the chain off the person's neck. Let's get that call real quick on the radio here. Oh, what'd they do? Change this road here? I don't remember.
Boy.
739
Adam.
I get a warrant. Gentrification citywide robbery just occurred. Sheridan Broadway, male black, or male Hispanic, gray shirt, short, rip necklace off the collar's neck. Plastic header northbound on Sheridan at the furthest zone. 2, 19th District Radio clear.
There you go. Robbery just happened. It just happened.
783 Charlie. Can I get you that number for the lower at 79th Street? Yeah,
robbery, Sheridan and Broadway. Black or Hispanic ripped the necklace off.
Bus number 8298 eastbound at Sacramento. Alright, that is 09635.
$5 This is some news, right?
And so what we have been expecting is whether the United States was going to respond militarily against Iran for this, as we had seen in previous weeks during the Memorandum of Understanding. That is exactly what is happening today.
Also, the U.S. is cutting off Iran from selling oil. Oil is up right now between 5 and 6%. All this happening as President Trump meets with NATO allies in Turkey, and as Ukraine's president tries to get Trump to pressure Vladimir Putin to finally end Russia's war on Ukraine. A fatal ICE shooting this morning in Houston. ICE saying that it killed a Mexican national evading arrest. They say allegedly was trying to run over an officer. Another woman just came forward to the Washington Post making allegations against Graham Plattner. Today, Bernie Sanders and Zoran Mamdani urged Plattner to end his Senate race in Maine. A federal judge says the Trump administration cannot obtain personal information of poll workers in Georgia.
In quashing the subpoena for the names, home, and email addresses and phone numbers of every poll worker in Fulton County, federal Judge William Ray II says the statute of limitations for possible crimes related to the 2020 election has long expired. The Trump-appointed judge writes, everyone, whether you support the president or you do not, or whether you believe the 2020 election was fair or believe that it was not, should be concerned about the DOJ's ability to utilize the power of the grand jury to appropriate your private information without a legitimate purpose. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Stocks dragged down by AI stocks. The Nasdaq fell 1.2% today. You're listening to ABC News.
Summer heat is here, and your AC is working harder than ever. Don't wait for a breakdown. Call Four Seasons now for a complete AC tune-up for just $89.95. They'll back it up with a 1-year, no-breakdown guarantee. If your AC breaks down, they'll fix it free of charge. All just for $89.95. For all your cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, you know who to call. For all the right reasons, call 866 Seasons.
This July, Low T Center is celebrating America's 250th anniversary with our 250 for 250 event. Start testosterone replacement therapy between July 1st and July 31st. Stay on treatment for 90 days, and you'll receive a $250 account credit. If you've been dealing with low energy, low sex drive, brain fog, or a lack of motivation, don't ignore the signs of low testosterone. Get tested, get answers. Get back to feeling like yourself again. Visit FixMyLowT.com and book your free T-test. That's FixMyLowT.com.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
5:03 Tuesday, the 7th of July. Good afternoon. Thanks so much for being with us today. I'm Andy Dane in for Lisa Fielding. Partly sunny skies right now in Chicago, 85 degrees. Nice day, a little warm out there. AccuWeather says clear skies for this evening. We're dropped down to a low of 67 degrees. Another nice day tomorrow, but a little toasty as well. Humid too, the high 89. We'll see some more showers and thunderstorms moving through the area later in the week. We will have the details for you coming up. Our 5-day forecast at 5:15. But first, our top local story here on News Radio WBBM. Mayor Brandon Johnson sharing new details about this year's budget, telling reporters today in a press conference halfway through the year it is still missing the mark. The mayor says the 2026 budget is short more than $130 million in revenue. He's blaming the group of Chicago aldermen able to gain the support of city council and pass an alternative budget over his objections. He emphasizes his progressive revenue ideas are working.
These revenue sources are not going towards something obscure or abstract. They're going right into working families, communities.
He says his administration is working to prevent layoffs and service cuts. In response to the mayor's budget claims, the Budget Accountability Coalition said in part, Chicagoans deserve transparency and the truth from the mayor instead of attempts to shift blame away from the failures of his administration. The Joliet police chief reviewing the city's response to a teen takeover during its July 4th celebration, during which several teens were arrested.
The interim police chief, Robert Brown, was present in Bicentennial Park and said over 100 kids were involved, running all over, shooting fireworks at families and officers and refusing to leave the park. Megan Cooper was there and shared her thoughts during a meeting of the city council.
These Roman candlesticks became a weapon. They pointed them into crowds and fired them all.
She said police gave the kids multiple warnings to leave.
There was absolutely zero respect shown for law enforcement. There was zero respect shown for their neighbors.
The chief told the Herald News they didn't want to make arrests. This is the second year there's been an incident like this during the 4th of July celebration in Joliet. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A man who beat and threatened a Chicago restaurant owner over a loan repayment has been sentenced to jail time.
46-year-old Jawad Fakron has been sentenced to 6.5 years in federal prison after being convicted of extorting a Chicago restaurant owner he loaned more than $400,000 to help open a Lincoln Park restaurant. Now, prosecutors say in November of 2024, Fakron confronted the restaurant owner, choked, kicked, and punched him while demanding repayment and threatening the lives of the man and his family. A federal jury convicted Fakron on both extortion counts earlier this year. Prosecutors called his conduct violent, dangerous, and lawless. Fakron is not a legal U.S. citizen. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9.
But he's threatening people.
2 people shot this morning, one fatally in north suburban Mundelein. Police found the victim shortly before noon in an apartment on the 500 block of Deep Woods Drive. A woman was hospitalized with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The man died at an area hospital. After getting a description of the suspect's vehicle, Illinois State Police caught the man and woman at the Indiana state line, where they were taken into custody. Police believe the shooting was targeted and domestic in nature. Local historians and genealogists may lose a valuable resource as the National Archives plans to close its location on Chicago's southwest side.
The closure will happen over the next few years, according to an email sent to staff last month. Block Club Chicago reports facilities in San Bruno, California, and Seattle are also slated to close as a way to cut costs. The Chicago Area Archivist Group says since opening in the 70s, the facility near 75th and Pulaski has housed more than 140,000 cubic feet of historically significant records from the Midwest. That includes transcripts of the trial of the Chicago 7 and naturalization records for Enrico Fermi. The union representing 11 out of the 17 employees there is bargaining with the National Archives and Records Administration. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Several days of heavy rain have filled parts of Chicago's deep tunnel system for the first time ever. Today, the city's Department of Water Management showcased construction of an innovative storage unit on the city's west side designed to collect and store stormwater in flood-prone areas. Deputy Commissioner Brian Schreiber says the storage will help neighborhoods severely flooded 3 years ago.
When you're farther away from your outlet, everything has to travel further. And the more travel you have, it's just like people, it's just like cars. The more travel time you have, the more backup you might have. The more risk of you're competing with all the other people on the road. The water's competing with all the other water that's in the system.
When completed in the 29th and 37th wards, the projects will provide nearly 1.7 million gallons of stormwater storage, will offer enhanced flood protection for nearly 3,000 homes and businesses. 5:08, time to update traffic and weather together on the 8th. How the roads, Neil Peter. Very busy for the 8th.
Listen what the radio calls are.
Come up for 514 from the 95th. Yep. 3 Mary. 7 Mary. Turn the red plate 38.
You see a bunch of people doing drugs around here, right?
E3 Frank. Go ahead, Frank. Event number for red line platform at 35th Street. Yep, that is 09263. 7 boy. 787 boy. Tour bus number 1653, westbound Wood. Okay, that is 09267. 3AA boy. 738AA boy. Well, can we get one for Blue Line, Addison Station? Yep, that is 09273.
They're doing drugs right in front of us.
6570 Adam. 6570 Adam. Good afternoon. Can I get a fire investigation, please, at Holman Square? And can I get a number for 5114? Yeah, good afternoon, sir. That's going to give you John King 324153. 324153.
They're doing drugs.
And your red
right
number
here.
09285. 09285.
The drug dealers are right there, right? Those are the drug dealers right there, man.
7 Adam. Roosevelt, that please.
It's the first of the month. They're collecting that money, right?
91. 3717. 4717. Can you add me to the White Sox detail, please? Along with 3322. That's for 714, you can put me down on that also, please. 4714, 10-4. Yeah, no problem. 383 Lincoln. 783 Lincoln.
There's a lady with her
number for
kid
Chicago
right
State Red Line.
You got past that stuff?
It's 09312. 7388 boy. 7388 boy. Well, can we get one for Blue Line train ride? We're from Addison to Jefferson Parkway on train 7112. Alright, that is 09322.
Collecting them checks.
Can you repeat it one more time?
Collecting them checks.
Yeah, it is 09322. 09322. 7387 Adam. 7387 Adam. 79th Street bus, eastbound from Henry. Okay, it's 09328. 6595 King.
6595 King.
Event number for firearms investigation at 4515 North Harding. And can I get RD for 5114?
Okay, it's going to give you John King 324162. 324162. And your event number 09343. 09343.
Boy.
737, boy.
7389, boy. Can I get a Blue Line Medical District?
89, boy, yes. That is 09351.
You think these guys are homeless?
7388, boy.
7388, boy.
Squad, can we get one for Blue Line, Logan Square, check?
They're doing something else.
Yep, that is 09365.
For units in the city roads in assault in progress, 715 East 47th Street. 715 East 47 at the Dollar Tree. See complaint regarding removing a male black, making threats of robbing the store. Offenders would be wearing a red hat and clothing. Again, nothing further. 2nd District Zone 7.
7383 King.
Yeah, show us on a disturbance at Carson Lake, Blue Line.
Bargain Lake on a disturbance, 10-4.
383 David, can we get another one for 69 at the red line, please?
83 David, it's 09384.
Thanks so much.
Yep.
383 Charlie.
783 Charlie.
Good event number for the 79th Street Rail Line.
Yep, that's 09394.
Adam.
7388 Adam.
We got a number for O'Hare Blue Line, please.
Yeah, that is 09412.
3874.
787, boy.
Bus number 1116, eastbound Dave.
Okay, that is 09422.
It's one of the more expensive neighborhoods, and look at the bottles everywhere. See that?
78 Frank.
Number for Red Line platform 35th Street, please.
Yep, that is 09450.
383 George.
78 to George.
Can I get a thermic in the relay? Please.
Yep, that is 09455.
3 married?
78 to Mary.
Turn on the red, please.
Yeah, that one is 09463.
Thanks.
Units 92 City Wire, assault in progress 2700 on Sheffield. As Sahara reporting her ex-boyfriend's brother, Tanel Neal, calling her. She just left court and has a no third-party contact. Nothing further known to.
6595 Frank.
Houston in the 9th District.
Okay, that one is 09480.
383 Lincoln.
783 Lincoln.
We got a number for Chicago and State Red Line.
Yep, that is 09500. 3214.
4.
Got a crash 750 south in the northbound lanes. It's going to be a gray Ford Escape and a red GMC truck. The truck has no insurance or registration.
Okay.
7383 John.
Event number for Jackson Red Line.
Yep, that is 09514.
387 Adam.
787 Adam.
79th Street Bus. East from Homestead.
Okay, that is 09554. 7 to David. Yep, that is 09568.
What?
Yep.
954.
65, 95 boy.
Investigation 4743, West Washington.
Alright, that's going to be 09576. 09576.
389 Adam.
789 Adam.
I get one with Blue Line and in the medical district.
Yeah, that is 09601.
Units of 19 citywide robbery just occurred. Sheridan Broadway, male black or male Hispanic, gray shirt, short, ripped necklace off the collar's neck. Last thing headed northbound on Sheridan at the further zone. 19th District, radio clear.
Charlie.
783 Charlie.
Can I get event up for the lower at 79th Street?
Yeah,
that place shut down. That has been around for more than 2 years. It's shut down already. See that? Fulton Market can't support its own businesses. See that? That's shut down.
Bus number 8298 eastbound at Sacramento.
Alright, that is 09635.
73AA boy.
788 boy.
Can we go up for Blue Line Station, Logan Square?
The fakeness of Fulton Market. You see that there? This place was around, what, a year or two? There you go. It didn't make it, did it? Here, Lake and Morgan, man. See that place? Shut down. Fulton Market's fake, man. I'm telling you. It's not what they say. It's all borrowed money. It's like that .com bubble. See that there? That place is closed. Remember the migrants? They used to be right there. The migrants would have all that money. It's supposed to help, but it never did. The greedy landowners got the money there. There you go. It's still closed. You see that there? So the migrants didn't help nothing out, right? There you go. Place is closed, right? Shut down. So none of that money helped out here. And you see that place is closed now. There you go. SubX.News. Fulton Market. Not doing too well. Not doing too well. 5:20 p.m. July 7th, 2026.
Yeah, that is 09695.
Citizen 2CY, battery in progress. 4554 South Drexel. Security's calling about 2 people fighting. No one to see. No other info whatsoever.
733 Eddie.
Can we get another one for Howard Redline?
Yep, that's 09707.
2383 Frank.
733 Frank.
Event number Redline platform 35th Street, please.
Yep, that's 09724.
Alright, Unison 2 citywide criminal trespass in progress. 3654 on King. 3654 King. Got a male unknown attempting to break into a vacant rehab building. Nothing feathers on 7.
383 David.
733 David.
We're 69 and Redline.
Yep, that's 09737.
95 Frank.
6595 Frank.
You come up for 514 from the 90 district.
Yep, gotta be John King 324221. 324221. And same event number 09480.
383 Mary.
783 Mary.
Vision in the red, please.
Yep, that's 09780.
Thank you. The Charlie.
7383 Charlie.
You can even up for the upper at 79 red.
Yep, that's 09786.
And 388 boy.
7388 boy.
Can we get an advance for our trip mission at the Blue Line, Logan Square?
Okay, that's going to be 09790.
Institute Citywide, battery in progress, Garfield and King, Garfield, 15 teams, fighting on the northeast corner, unknown weapons on 7.
Garfield and King, 15 teams fight.
783 Lincoln.
Number for Chicago and State Red Line.
Yep, that's 09799.
Unit 5 in the Citywide got a ticket of shots fired at 122nd and Wallace. The caller initially reported a group of males wearing all black clothing walking westbound on 122nd with automatic weapons, and now reporting several shots fired from the location people are running. He came in anonymous. Nothing further. Zone 9 clear.
383 ready.
783 ready.
Get one for Howard Red Line, please.
Yep, it is 09838.
David.
738 David.
69 from the red line, please.
Yep, it's 09857. Yeah, no problem.
6570, Paul.
6570, Paul.
Good evening, squad. Can I get a firearm investigation? 3624 South Roads. And can you put a 5114 on it for me, please?
Yeah, you got it. Going to be John King, 324233, 324233, and your event number is 09866. 09866.
Hey, South Boy.
See anybody here?
385.
It's 525. People ain't working.
Roosevelt bus number 8556, westbound at Wood.
Alright, so that is 09871.
83 King.
733 King.
Can we get one for
Where was that fight?
Blue, please?
Shooting, right? 126th.
6595 boy.
Investigation 4743 West Washington.
389 Adam.
Shots fired.
Unit 19 Citywide robbery just occurred. Sheridan Broadway.
We heard that.
Chicago Point by radio, the time is
7389. 7383 Ada. See what check.
83 John.
783 John.
Red number for Jackson, red line.
Henderson 2 Citywide, battery in progress. 4554 South Drexel. Security's calling about 2 people fighting. No one to see. No other info on 7.
2383 Frank.
Unison 2 Citywide, criminal trespass in progress. 3654 on King. 3654 King. Got a male unknown attempting to break into a vacant rehab building. Nothing further on 7.
383 David.
733 David.
Number 69 and red line.
Yep, that's 09737.
955.
6595 Frank.
You come up for 514 from the 91st.
Yep, gonna be John King, 324221, 324221, and same event number 09480.
383 Mary.
7-8 to Bay.
Vision in the red, please.
Yep, that's 097.
Thank you. The Charlie.
7383 Charlie.
Negative event 388 boy.
7388 boy.
Can we get an advance for our trip mission at the Blue Line, Logan Square?
Okay, that's going to be 09790.
Houston 2 Citywide. Battery in progress. Garfield and King. Garfield, 15 teams. Fighting on the northeast corner. Unknown weapons on 7.
383 Lincoln.
Units 5 in the Citywide got a ticket of shots fired at 122nd and Wallace. The caller initially reported a group of males wearing all black clothing walking westbound on 122nd with automatic weapons, and now reporting several shots fired from the location and people are running. It came in anonymous. Nothing further. Zone 9 clear.
383 Eddie.
783 Eddie.
10-1 for Howard Rabbi, please.
Yep, that is 09838.
Lane is blocked. It's on the on-ramp, and the Veterans Memorial Tollway southbound continues to struggle a bit, 290 to pass North Avenue from an earlier crash, now off on the left shoulder. Word of a crash on 8094 westbound right around the Tri-State. You're heavy in spots between Grant and the scene. Back to the expressways on the Edens coming in, 48 minutes, 17 to drive out. Kennedy in an hour 3, just about 40 out to O'Hare. On the Stevenson outbound, you're 53 minutes to the Veterans Tollway, close to an hour in from I-355 into DeSable Lakeshore Drive. South side, the Dan Ryan, 30 minutes out, 26 inbound, 57 going out 18, 30 on the outbound Ford coming inbound, not bad. From the Metro Traffic Center, next reports at 5:38. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Mostly clear skies for this evening, the low 67 degrees. Sunshine, very warm and a bit more humid for tomorrow. A high of 89 degrees. Right now in Chicago, partly sunny, 85 degrees, O'Hare and Midway, 76 along the lakefront at 5:30.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Andy Dane in for Lisa Fielding, and these are the top stories on News Radio WBBM. Mayor Brandon Johnson warning of a major multi-million-dollar budget gap in Chicago. A family files a lawsuit after a woman allegedly chokes to death at a suburban group home. The U.S. launches retaliatory strikes on Iran after ship attacks in the Strait of Hormuz. And more prominent Democrats urging Graham Plattner to drop out of Maine's Senate race. Sports, the Cubs are in Baltimore taking on the Orioles tonight, while the White Sox host the Boston Red Sox. In business,
I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg. Wall Street ends lower, oil moved higher today. The Dow down 131 points. The tech-heavy NASDAQ took the worst of it, down 302, and the S&P lost 34.
Mostly clear skies for this evening, a low 67 degrees. Right now, partly sunny in Chicago, 85 degrees at 5:31. Topping our news at this half hour, Mayor Johnson announcing today this year's budget is short.
The mayor says at mid-year, the 2026 budget is short more than $130 million in revenue, and he's blaming the group of Chicago aldermen that were able to gain the support of city council and pass an alternative budget over his objection. He says gaps have emerged due in part to a plan to sell outstanding debt to a private buyer.
Corporate-aligned members of the city council chose a different direction and adopted their so-called alternative budget. And throughout that process, we raised concerns about the assumptions in that plan.
Johnson says his progressive revenue ideas are working.
The personal property lease tax is performing well, bringing in $402 million, and that's just through May of this year. Online sports betting is coming in strong, and our groundbreaking smart tax on the largest social media and big tech companies is also performing above forecast.
The mayor says his administration is working to prevent layoffs and service cuts. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A lawsuit has been filed against the operators of a Rolling Meadows group home where a longtime resident died earlier this year. The suit targets Clearbrook, the operator of a community integrated living arrangement or group home where 34-year-old Emily Kasanga died April 25th. Attorney Margaret Battersby Black says given her autism and a swallowing disorder, Kasanga was supposed to be monitored while eating, but was left alone that day and choked to death. Clearbrook is also accused of ignoring the family's complaints regarding bullying and racism by other residents and for waiting several hours to properly report Kasanga's death. Doreen Bartholomew is her mother.
We need answers. And maybe this will help another mother like me not to ever go through what I'm going through right now with my family.
We have reached out to Clearbrook for comment. A man has died after a motorcycle accident in Mettawa last night.
It happened at the intersection of Route 60 and St. Mary's Road just before 9 p.m. According to the Lake County Sheriff's Office, a 43-year-old man from Mundelein was driving a 2022 Honda motorcycle westbound on Route 60 when a 55-year-old woman driving a Chevy eastbound on the same road made a left turn in front of him. The man was thrown from his motorcycle as it collided with the vehicle and died at the scene. The woman driving the Chevy suffered minor injuries. The motorcycle then hit a Hyundai, but no one in that car was hurt. Mai Martinez, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
At 5:33, the U.S. launching new strikes against Iran at this hour after 3 merchant ships were hit in the Strait of Hormuz. AP correspondent Charles de Ledesma with more on the earlier attacks.
A tanker in the Strait of Hormuz has been set ablaze after being struck by a projectile. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations Centre says the tanker had been hit near Lima, Oman in the strait, adding the projectile hit the port side of the vessel while it was travelling south out of the strait toward the Gulf of Oman. It adds there's been no environmental impact from the strike and that the authorities are investigating. Iranian state television is reporting the liquefied natural gas tanker came under attack after ignoring warnings but did not directly claim the assault. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The renewed attacks from both sides threaten the interim deal reached last month, with the U.S. and Iran both saying strikes violate the initial agreement. Bernie Sanders, one of the leading forces in progressive politics, adding his name to the growing list of prominent figures, urging Maine Democratic Senate candidate Graham Plattner to drop out. Plattner has been accused of sexual assault by a former girlfriend. Here's ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
The Vermont senator was an early backer of Graham Plattner, and he defended the candidate through earlier controversies over his offensive online posts, explicit text messages to women other than his wife, and a tattoo of a skull and crossbones said to be a Nazi symbol. But now Bernie Sanders says the sexual assault allegation, which Plattner denies, is very serious, and he's recommended that Plattner drop out of the running for Senate.
ABC News has not independently verified the accuser's claims of sexual assault. A judge rejecting the Justice Department's attempts to get the names of 2020 election workers in Fulton County, Georgia.
A federal judge has ruled that the U.S. Department of Justice cannot have access to personal information for every person who worked during the 2020 election in Georgia's Fulton County. The Justice Department in April obtained a grand jury subpoena seeking the names and personal contact information of county employees and volunteer poll workers. The county argued the subpoena was overly broad and meant to target and harass President Donald Trump's opponents. In his ruling Tuesday, U.S. District Judge William Ray called the subpoena unreasonable. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
An update now on a bombing incident in Monaco last week.
A woman suspected of trying to kill a Ukrainian business tycoon in a bombing attack in Monaco last week was found dead in Ukraine with gunshot wounds to the head. Ukraine's Secret Service said that a Ukrainian military intelligence officer confessed to killing the bombing suspect, Anastasia Berezovska, with the help of a former law enforcement officer. The security service said he claimed to have acted on his own and without knowledge of his superiors. Authorities have not disclosed possible motives for the bombing attack or the killing of Berezovska. Based on the sophistication of the remote-controlled explosive device that was used, investigators in Monaco said last week that they believed multiple people were involved in the attack. I'm Haya Panchwani.
Traffic, weather, and low gas prices coming up. It's 5:36.
At U.S. Waterproofing, when we're called to fix a basement water problem, we get it fixed right.
There you go. You got assassinations in Monaco. So there you go. You got police officers right here. Why don't you take a look at this? This is a good video, right? You'll see. Let me get my other video going. This is a good video, you'll see. There you go. Here's a good video for everybody. It's 5:38 p.m. I believe we're at Kedzie and Lake. See that there? See that guy? He's got an illegal encampment, right? Whatever. But then you got police right here. So why do you got the police, right? Why the police there? Doesn't make sense, does it? Really doesn't. What are they doing? What are the sheriffs doing actually? Besides sitting in their car in the air conditioning? Kind of get it? What were they doing there? They weren't enforcing any laws because there was a guy illegally doing stuff on public land. Kind of wild, isn't it? You've seen it right there. So what are the police there for? What? Playing games? Chasing people on the train? You're not doing any crime prevention in your cars, right? What is the actual purpose of a police officer? Because these guys are sitting in their cars while there's a crime right in front of them. That's the way life goes, right?
From US 52 to US 30 with a serious
we'll listen to
crash
some radio
involving a
calls next,
motorcycle.
right?
Expressways, Eden's coming in, a lot of delays coming into the junction. You're about 45 inbound, head to the end an hour or two, close to 35 to get out. Eisenhower crash cleared inbound before Wacker
Let me
Drive.
pull over here so I can post this.
Still really jammed up though from Independence Boulevard. An hour 11 in from I-90, 45 in from Manheim, outbound 32 to Manheim, 54 to the Jane Addams. On the Stevenson end, about an hour, close to 55 out to the Veterans Tollway. South side, the Dan Ryan, 30 minutes out, 26 minutes in. 57 outbound, just a delay from the Dan Ryan to past Halstead. A backup on the Bishop Ford because of ongoing construction. 30 minutes to get out to 8094. To South of Lakeshore Drive, especially heavy southbound, North Avenue down to Roosevelt. Your closures are in place. The Taste of Chicago starting tomorrow. So, of course, with all the closures in Grant Park, all the other streets trying to navigate around it are really heavy as well. The tollway is still pretty heavy for the most part. Our trouble spot on the Jane Addams westbound heavy at Arlington Heights Road. Police activity in that area. Northwest Indiana traffic on 8094 westbound in spots between Burr and the Tri-State. From the Metro Traffic Center, get your next report at 548. News Radio 1059 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather with a mostly clear sky tonight, will below around 67. It's going to be very warm and a bit more humid for tomorrow with a good deal of sunshine, a high of 89. Partly cloudy, warm and sticky tomorrow night, low 72. And then humid Thursday with more clouds and sun. There will be a couple of showers, perhaps a thunderstorm. High Thursday, 84. 85 right now at O'Hare. It's 83 at Midway, 80 in Rogers Park, 76 at the lakefront, going down to 67 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Stocks lower today. The Dow down 131 points. NASDAQ dropped 302. The S&P fell 34. At 541, Chicago figures prominently on a list it would rather not be on.
Chicago retains its position as the city with the highest rate of bedbug infestations, with LA, Detroit, Cleveland, and Indy rounding out the top 5. That's based on professional treatment of infestations in commercial and residential properties. Orkin says travel destinations tend to have more infestations, so do big cities. The company says in a statement, these blood-feeding pests often target sleeping humans and can easily spread by hitchhiking on luggage. The bugs are reddish-brown and about the size of an apple seed. Orkin suggests inspecting beds in hotel rooms. Look for ink-like speckled stains. Keep luggage elevated and put clothes in the dryer after getting home from a trip in case you brought some with you. Mike Krauser, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
At the editor's desk today, big thank yous to Cecilia Fragakis and later Adit Jagannathan, our writer Susan Glick.
Officer on scene, firefighting King requesting assistance. They came across 383 King.
738 King.
You're clear?
Yeah, they're good. Go ahead.
Okay, can I get one for Clarkson Lake Blue? It was a...
Alright, units at 95th in the red line, 563 Adam is good. Again, 563 Adam is good. Disregard. Male is throwing, thinks that the female they started outside. Always say that they have machetes hanging up on the walls in the apartment. No further.
7388 Adam.
7388 Adam.
Yeah, we'll take one for the upper at Belmont Blue Line for our mission, please.
Alright, that is 09940. 09940.
Boy. Okay, the Roosevelt bus number 8295 westbound at Western.
945.
Alright, units, we're getting a 10-1 at the red line. 10-1, 563 Adam has one at gunpoint. Has one at gunpoint at the red line at 95th.
95 in the red line. Got it for 10-1. 95th in the red line for 563 Adam. Again, 10-1 at the red line for 563 Adam. Trying to figure out where they're at.
4605. What zone is that?
They got two county sheriffs with them at the red line. They have two county sheriffs with them.
Alright, 7301 Sam, you got any idea of where they are?
7301 Sam.
And now they have weapon recovered at 95th in the red line. Now they have weapon recovered.
Alright, with the weapon recovered so far. 7301 Sam.
7301 Sam, we're checking.
Alright, time for 7383 boys. 7383 boy, we're still trying to figure out exactly where they're at the station. If you maybe want to try to look for him, 563 Adams got a 10-1 over there, one at gunpoint. He's showing at his car is at the northeast corner of the north terminal. Northeast corner of the north terminal.
387 boys there for you.
Yeah, go ahead, boy.
Nice even number for the best route in westbound Western on Roosevelt.
Sure. 09945. 09945.
380, 380.
7880.
Another one for Howard Redline, please.
Yeah, 09970.
Alright, units at 95th in the red line. 563 Adam is good. Again, 563 Adam is good. Disregard. Male is throwing, thinks that the female they started outside. Always say that they have machetes hanging up on the walls in the apartment. No further. Zone 10 station clear.
Alright, again, disregard 95.
Again, units, disregard for the 10-1 at 95th from the red line. Again, disregard.
Yeah, one more time. With disregard over there, they said they are good. They do have Cook County with them. 95 the red line. Northeast corner of the north terminal, they said they're good. And disregard.
383 Adam.
383 Adam.
Roosevelt red line event, please.
Yeah, that's 09990.
383 King.
733 King.
You're clear?
Yeah, they're good. Go ahead.
Okay, can I get one for Clarkson Lake Blue? It was a disturbance over here.
Okay, that one's gonna be 09997. 09997.
Unison 2, citywide, person with a gun, 55 and King. Got Illinois State Police reporting, got an officer on scene, 55 and King requesting assistance. They came across people fighting with a handgun involved. No description. Zone 7.
Alright, well that should be an assist BO. 55 and King, if anyone's in the area, Garfield and King, State Police, requested assistance for people fighting and there was a handgun involved. They said it is not a 10-1. Their trooper is okay. Garfield and King, if anyone's in the area.
More cop cars. There you go, right?
Number 4010 westbound in California.
Okay, that is 10019. 10019.
4730.
4730, sir.
No, can you hold me down under the White Sox event, please?
Good afternoon, Timber.
570 Paul.
6570 Paul.
Squad, can I get a firearm investigation at 3515 South Cottage Grove?
Sure. That is 10026. 10026.
John?
738 to John.
Please put me by number for the Red Lane Jackson.
Yep, it's 10031.
383 George.
738 George.
Can I get the terminate red line check, please?
Okay, that is 10049.
Units is 12 to see do I get a price with the 2007 West Adams, 2007 West Adams. Candace states she has an order of protection against the child's father. He's currently outside this location making threats. Male black for lives, white tee, black pants, posing armed with a gun. I have no additional zone 3 radio square.
7383 Lincoln.
738 Lincoln.
I get a number for Chicago and State Red Line.
Yep, it's 10092.
1383 Mary.
738 Mary.
Vision in the red, please.
Yep, it's 10095.
Thank you.
Units at 11 citywide, getting assault progress 1040 North Keeler, 1040 North Keeler on the playground. Caller states there's at least 5 male black, 12 to 14 years of age, harassing other passerbyers and attempting to throw fireworks at them. Caller states the group is wearing mostly all black on the scene. Possible weapons present is fireworks, unknown drugs, alcohol, no further zone, 10 station clear.
383 Charlie.
Where was that?
738 Charlie.
Give me a number for the upper 7.
Units at 11 citywide, getting assault progress 1040 North Keeler, 1040 North Keeler on the playground. Caller states there's at least 5 male black, 12 to 14 years of age, harassing other passerbyers and attempting to throw fireworks at them. Caller states the group is wearing mostly all black on the scene. Possible weapons present is fireworks, unknown drugs, alcohol, no further zone, 10 station clear.
383 Charlie.
Teens throwing fireworks at passerbys. 1040 North Keeler.
Yep, that's 10116.
One boy.
That's right here, right?
785 boy. 89 boy.
Boy squad. Roosevelt bus number 8556 westbound Sherborne.
Gonna get it right one of these years. Alright, 10121.
7388 Adam. Can we get the lower now last phone line, please?
Yep, that is 10127.
83 John.
7383 John.
Please put me red number for Jackson Red Lane.
Yeah, that is 10169.
383.
That's right here, right?
783.
1040 Keeler's right here, right?
Yep, it's 10179.
Citizen 17 on Citywide, getting a theft in progress at the Walgreens. 4010 West on Lawrence, store manager reporting a shoplifter inside the Walgreens, a male black or male Hispanic wearing a hat, long sleeve white shirt. Got nothing further, 17 districts on 1.
Which Walgreens was that?
380.
783.
Another one for Howard, red line, please.
Yep, it's
Shoplifting Walgreens.
10179.
Citizen 17 on Citywide, getting a theft in progress at the Walgreens. 4010 West on Lawrence, store manager reporting a shoplifter inside the Walgreens, a male black or male Hispanic wearing a hat, long sleeve white shirt. Got nothing further, 17 districts on 1.
Lawrence.
383 Adam.
783 Adam.
Roosevelt red, confirm.
Yep, that is 10208.
383 David.
783 David. Yep, it's 10211.
7383 Frank.
7383 Frank.
Lunch at 35th and Normal, please.
Yep, it's 10214.
Thanks.
432, units and 4 on the citywide. One ticket of shots fired, 3331 East 136th Street, 3331 East 136. Caller said they heard the neighbors yelling and now several gunshots were heard. There's children at the house as well. Nothing further, Port District Sunny.
383 John.
782 Jeff.
That's Jackson Red Line, and we have a citizen stuck in the elevator. Is there any way fire can come get her out?
Yeah, never. Where are you guys at right now? On the mezzanine level or downstairs? Alright, then we got a room.
There's Hispanics here, a whole bunch of them.
388 Adam. Can we get the upper Logan Square now, please?
88 Adam, that is 10251.
Unison 3, citywide assault in progress. 2101 East 71 at the local market. Female black customer wearing orange shirt, black shorts, making verbal threats to the employees. And she's calling for more people to come up to the store. No weapons things on 7.
Where's Keeler at? Ahead of Costner or after Costner?
750 King.
I think it's,
Can we do one for
in back of us, right? I gotta make a U-turn.
That is 10277.
Keeler is in back of us, right?
Hey, it's 733 John. You got truck 1 en route.
It's all jacked up. They got a bunch of zombies over here, man. We'll be back. We're gonna check out this park, right? See what's going on over here, right? And there's zombies all around here, man. In back of me. So that we're caught up with the radio calls. We'll do the 6 o'clock news. We're gonna go check out there. There's a bunch of kids doing some stuff over here. I'm pretty sure. There's people everywhere. There's a lot of Hispanics living here. That's why the bloodshit's happening. They're pushing them out, right? They're pushing everybody that lived here out. You were not going to be able to afford it here. These are nice homes over here.
Alrighty. Do I have any air support right now, PH1 or
See those graystones over there? Those are expensive homes there.
Maybe helicopter base if you're in the area. Helicopter base.
That guy was a Hispanic guy there working on his car right there. See it? See the Hispanic family right there? If you don't believe me, you should drive around and maybe then you'll understand why we're having the violence and why the mayor is allowing the violence. Right? He uses violence, drugs, debauchery, criminal activity to clean out neighborhoods, right? For the people who vote for him. Because then what? They'll come in here, they'll buy a house, or the developer does it, whatever it is, and they support him, right? That's how life goes. It's nothing new. These people don't have money, right? Some more Hispanic people, right? Where am I at? I don't even know the street I'm at, right?
Helicopter base.
We're at Tilton Elementary. We're at Keeler and West End. Right. Where are the kids at, right? They're supposed to be throwing fireworks at people, right? I don't see anybody here, right? There was shooting over here a little while ago, wasn't there? Yeah. Park. There's a whole bunch of pod cameras everywhere, right? That's Keeler over there. We're almost at the 6 o'clock news, right? Those are new homes there. You see that there? Those are new homes. Those look like scattered site housing there. Let's see what we can do here. 1040. I thought Lake was 12. Maybe I was off. That's a one-way over there, so we can't go that way.
Confidence on the citywide, third district, and multiple calls over a battery in progress, 6140 71st. Got a male dragging a female on the ground. Also, we had a call of the male forcing a female into a black Mercedes. She's bleeding from the face. Male, blue jacket, blue jeans, female, black shirt, purple pants, no 7.
Alright, well, if anyone is in the area, this was a shots fired domestic related situation way down at 3331 East 136th Street. 4th District is down there, and the offender took off on foot, and he's currently hiding somewhere in the weeds, 136 in Buffalo. Looking for a male black with a white shirt. He is armed, use caution. They said they may have a second offender too, but they're working on that as well. But if anyone's in the area, 136 Buffalo, and the helicopter base, if you can copy me, they're looking for you as well over there.
Helicopter base, we're going to be listening.
Armed and dangerous, hiding in the weeds. 136th in Buffalo might be a domestic. Might be a second offender too.
5-4, you can drop down the box.
4-7-5-4-10-4.
Let them know on the zone that K9 will head that way too. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Helicopter base, Cityway 1. Helicopter base, Cityway 1. Helicopter base, Cityway 1. Helicopter base, Cityway 1.
Confidence on the citywide.
Helicopter base, Cityway 1. Helicopter base, Cityway 1.
Confidence on the citywide, third district, and multiple calls over a battery in progress, 6140 71st. Got a male dragging a female on the ground. Also, we had a call of the male forcing a female into a black Mercedes. She's bleeding from the face. Male, blue jacket, blue jeans, female, black shirt, purple pants, zone 7.
Alright, well, if anyone is in the area, this was a shots fired domestic related situation way down at 3331 East 136th Street. 4th District is down there, and the offender took off on foot, and he's currently hiding somewhere in the weeds, 136 in Buffalo. Looking for a male black with a white shirt. He is armed, use caution. They said they may have a second offender too, but they're working on that as well. But if anyone's in the area, 136 Buffalo, and the helicopter base, if you can copy me, they're looking for you as well over there.
Helicopter base, we're going to be listening shortly. We'll switch over.
Perfect, thank you.
603, can you show us this bounty, please?
4603, 10-4.
5-4, you can drop down the box.
4-7-5-4-10-4.
Let them know on the zone that K9 will head that way too. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
This is George.
7-8 to George.
Get us a rhythm for the Summit Grilling, please.
Yeah, take 10343.
Drunken stupor 4.5 years ago, but he says he's now reflecting on a path forward.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. President Trump is in Ankara, Turkey for the NATO summit, where he said he'll be lifting U.S. sanctions on Turkey.
We don't want to sanction friends. It's very simple. There's plenty of people we can sanction, and we are sanctioned. We don't want to sanction friends.
A Mississippi community is mourning the death of Nolan Xavier Wells. Authorities believe they've recovered the 18-year-old's body after he went missing over the weekend. Officials say Wells vanished after going on a boat trip with friends for the 4th of July. You're listening to ABC News.
When the chips are down, we rise. When the job gets tough, we rise. Union laborers and contractors are rising together. Rising to make our community stronger and safer. Rising to hone our skills and construction performance. training the next generation today to meet the construction and infrastructure needs of tomorrow. We are LiUNA laborers and union contractors, and we're rising together. Learn more at chicagolesit.org.
Portia Lincolnwood is the only premier Portia.
It's 6 o'clock right now. We're listening to the news. They usually start with national news, and then they go to, man, look at that. That whole, look at that. That street's caving in there. Did you see that one there? Look at that.
Our Portia professionals are outstanding.
That whole street's caving in there. That ain't even funny here. And I think this is a new street here. These have got new bike lanes here. See that? They got new bike lanes and the street's caving in.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
And the time now is 6:03 on Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. Good evening, I'm Glenn Marshall.
We'll wait till the news stops and we'll do that video.
Chicago under mostly sunny skies. Going to be mostly clear tonight with a low of 67. Tomorrow, very warm with a high of 89 degrees. Tomorrow night, expect a low of 72 degrees. We're going to look at that AccuWeather 5-day forecast. That's coming up at 6:15. Right now, our top local story on News Radio, the BBM. A lawsuit has been filed against the operators of a Rolling Meadows group home where a longtime resident died earlier this year. Our top story is coming from WBBM's Andy Dane.
It just really sucks knowing that it should have taken way too soon from us.
Donning shirts that read "Justice for Emily," relatives of Emily Kasanga gathered to announce a wrongful death lawsuit against Clearbrook, the operator of a Community Integrated Living Arrangement, or CILA, group home. The 34-year-old died April 25th. Attorney Margaret Battersby Black says given her autism and a swallowing disorder, Kasanga was supposed to be monitored while eating, but was left alone that day.
When the staff member who was at the facility came back from performing other responsibilities, she found Emily choking in the living room. She instructed other residents, other disabled residents, to provide the Heimlich maneuver instead of herself, and those residents obviously did not have any medical training. Emily died on the floor of this place that was supposed to keep her safe.
The suit also accuses Clearbrook of ignoring the family's complaints regarding bullying and racism by other residents and waiting several hours to properly report the incidents. Ashley Kasanga is Emily's sister.
We do want justice for my sister, and we want to make sure we bring awareness. Autism does not stop you from living life.
Andy Dang, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM has reached out to Clearbrook for comment. So far, we have not received the response. Murder and attempted murder charges have been filed against a 31-year-old Chicago man who allegedly had to have shot and killed a 10-year-old child, Chicago boy actually, and wounded another person over the weekend in Gary, Indiana.
Montana Weathers was shot to death early on Sunday morning at a home on the 200 block of Chase Street in Gary. The child was celebrating the 4th with family, according to police. The alleged shooter is identified as Ernesto Posadas, who, according to police, had been at a party at the home on Saturday and got into a fight with his girlfriend and left. It's alleged he returned early on Sunday morning with another unidentified man firing multiple shots at the home. When later informed that 10-year-old Montana was shot, a detective said he replied, "The midget?" The boy was shot in the head. Police say the shooting was captured by a doorbell camera, and Posadas was seen before and during the shooting wearing a distinctive Chicago Bears shirt. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And a man who beat and threatened a Chicago restaurant owner over a loan repayment has been sentenced to 6.5 years in federal prison. We're talking about 46-year-old Joan Falkron, who loaned more than $400,000 to help and open a Lincoln Park restaurant. Prosecutors say the day before Thanksgiving back in 2024, Falkron confronted the restaurant owner, choked, kicked, and punched him while demanding repayment and threatening the lives of the man and his family. A federal jury convicted Falkron on both extortion counts earlier this year. And we are coming up on 6:08, but first, a measure signed into law by Governor Pritzker creates a new training option for beauty professionals.
The bill creates a pathway to licensing.
We already heard that, so let's keep moving, right? Let's put on some radio calls. We'll knock out this last hour, see what's going on, right? Hopefully we don't get threatened anymore, right? You know, I have to do certain things to protect myself. That's why I do certain stop and see what's going on, right? Everybody understands that when you get threatened by drug dealers, those are drug dealers that threaten me in downtown, by the way. They're not, normal people don't threaten people. And usually normal drug dealers don't threaten people. So those are some street, whatever they are. I don't know who they are. I don't care. But we'll see what we do about that. I'll probably have to fill out a police report tonight. I got about 6 police reports of people saying they're going to kill me because of my reporting. And do you know how many detectives that call me? None. They're probably sitting by the train tracks over there in those cars with the Cook County sheriffs while the guy is squatting on land. Right? We're going to go do this little one over here, right? We'll do this little quick video. I don't know where we're going to end up. We'll see.
301 sound.
7301 sound, go.
Can you read out the description again for Jarvis Red Line?
What's going on at Jarvis?
301. 1383 Mary.
Son happened at Jarvis, right?
Units is 24 and the Seaway. We're getting a person with a gun over at the red line on Jarvis. 1524 West Jarvis. Caller states a female, black, red hair, small pistol aiming at people right by the train station. No further is on 11th here.
1383 Mary.
Sorry, what unit's coming in?
1383 Mary.
Yes, sir.
83 Mary.
Bound for launch, please. 22 East Chicago.
It's 10394.
Jarvis redlined female pointing a pistol at people.
301 sound.
7301 sound, go.
Can you read out the description again for Jarvis Red Line?
Give me 1 second. I have a person with a gun. Got a female, black, red hair. Has a small pistol aiming at people near the train station.
All right, thank you. 70 John.
6570 John.
Squad, can I get a RD for 511?
I have a person with a gun. Got a female, black, red hair.
301 sound.
7301 sound, go.
Can you read out the description again for Jarvis Red Line?
Give me 1 second.
301. 1383 Mary.
Units is 24 and the Seaway. We're getting a person with a gun over at the red line on Jarvis.
Alright, take it that number 10387 10387.
Units is 24 and the Seaway. We're getting a person with a gun over at the red line on Jarvis. 1524 West Jarvis. Caller states a female, black, red hair, small pistol aiming at people right by the train station. No further is on 11th here.
1383 Mary.
7301 sound, go.
Can you read out the description again for Jarvis Red Line?
Give me 1 second. I have a person with a gun. Got a female, black, red hair. Has a small pistol aiming at people near the train station.
All right, thank you.
There you go.
70 John.
65.
What are those sheriffs doing, huh?
Can I get an RD for 5114 from 9646 South Calumet?
Got that? They didn't prevent that one, did they?
570 John. Take John King 324317 324317 on event 10415 10415.
What's the address for again?
I think it's 434. No, I think 434. Hold on a second. It was 24. 3331 East 136 was the original address for the person with the gun. I'm sorry, for the shots fired. 3321 East 136. Is that the one you're talking about?
Can you say it one more time, please?
Sure, 3331 East 136 was the original address for the person with the gun. I'm sorry for the
What's that address for again?
That's the person with a gun hiding in the weeds.
I think it's 434. No, it ain't 434. Hold on a second. It was 24. 3331 East 136 was the original address for the person with the gun. I'm sorry, for the shots fired. 3321 East 136. Is that the one you're talking about?
Can you say it one more time, please?
Sure, 3331 East 136 is like 136 Buffalo Mackinac.
3874.
I'm sorry, where you guys coming in?
738740. Rules Lopez, 8298 westbound at Ashland.
Alright, westbound Ashland at...
Check this out. You want to see a hole here? Watch this one.
Take event number 10433
There's a huge hole in the middle of the floor here. See that there?
Charlie 1 on Citywide 1, PH 1 on Citywide 1.
See that there?
Police helicopter on Citywide 1. Helicopter base on Citywide 1.
SubX.News, 6:14 p.m. July 7th, 2026. Look at that huge hole out here. Look at that, man. There's a whole bunch of city. There's, I think, a CTA station and a facility. Look at that, man. That's a sinkhole there, man. See that there? Look at that, man. You guys want to see this here? Let me show it to you. You guys want to see it on the live? I'm live feeding this too. Look, they got brand new bike lanes here though. See that? That's a brand new bike lane. I remember when they built that. So they built the brand new bike lanes, right? Or whatever those are. But look at that. It's a sinkhole there, man. And there's, I think that's a Chicago transportation facility. They fix cars over there for the city of Chicago. Look at that, man. That's pretty bad there, ain't it? What the heck? Why aren't you fixing this? I don't get this one. Why aren't you fixing this? Where's the fixer people? Where's the trucks? Hey, it looks like this whole thing is sinking here. Look at that. Pretty wild, ain't it? Yeah, SubX.News on the spot reporting. There you go. How about that one? That's deep. Look at that, man. That's a sinkhole there, man. What is that? Yeah, that's falling there. There's trucks and buses and all kinds of stuff here. It's kind of dangerous. Don't you think so? I think that should be fixed. I don't think it'll be fixed though. I gotta figure out where I'm at. Where am I at? Anybody know what address I'm at? I think this sinkhole looks a little dangerous here. What do you guys think?
6570. Event number for firearm investigation at 8556 South Aberdeen, please.
6:15 p.m. July 7th, 2026.
Check event number 10522 10522.
I'm sorry, would I be able to get a RD number for 5114 for that, please?
Sure, take John King 324333. 324333. Your event number.
A little north of Ohio on Kilbourne.
0009.
Didn't you just give me event number 10522?
Oh yeah, I did. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the plate event that I got up here in front of me. I'm sorry, let me repeat that.
That's pretty messed up. I don't even want to. Man, there's people driving in that sucker. And you just drove through it, man. Oh man, that thing's moving here. Oh man, that's moving. Check this out. We're gonna sit here for a little while. Watch. That rock moves. Watch this, man. This is gonna be wild when you see this. And we're gonna do sinkhole cam. This is a sinkhole cam. Watch this. It moves. You're gonna see this, right? Sinkhole cam. If the gang banging drug dealers say we can't videotape in downtown, then we gotta find other things to do that are a little safer. Maybe videotaping sinkholes is safer than drug dealers. What do you guys think? All right. So we're gonna do sinkholes then. That's the plan then. Let's see.
At Montrose Harbor, it says boat in the entrance for harbor, about 300 feet. Maybe it's blocking the harbor entrance. They have details. Montrose Harbor for the Marine Patrol.
You're gonna see when the big trucks come by, it moves. That's a street. There's a lot of people here. A lot of people work around here. And we got a boat in Monroe Harbor in distress, right? She just said there. That's Ramona, by the way. Yeah, you know, if you get threatened by criminals, then you got to figure out what else you're gonna do. I told you it moved, didn't I? You see it move? That thing's moving, right? Yeah, I don't pull your leg, do I? See it moving? What? See it moving there? You want me to get closer? Watch. See it moving? Watch. You can hear it moving. Yeah, it looks a little dangerous there, man. We might see somebody falling there. You're like, John, you're evil. I ain't no evil, man. I'm just doing reporting. There you go. Watch, it moves. You'll see it. And I gotta post this one about the... That's dangerous, man. Somebody's gonna fall in there, huh?
733 Charlie. Is that number for the upper? Sure, 10547, 10547. Bring in the headquarters. I got a boat in the entrance of the harbor. At the entrance for harbor. About 300 feet. Maybe it's blocking the harbor.
Montrose Harbor. Entrance of the harbor, 300 feet out. Boat is in distress.
Units watch your key, open key, citywide 1. Units watch your key, open key, citywide 1.
Pothole cam. I think that's not a pothole, that's a sinkhole there. I think that's dangerous.
Sure, 10547, 10547. Bring in the headquarters. I got a boat in the entrance of the harbor. 733 Charlie. Is that number for the upper and 79th red? Bring in the headquarters. I got a boat in the entrance of the harbor. The Montrose Harbor says boat at the entrance for harbor. About 300 feet. Maybe it's blocking the harbor entrance. They got details. Montrose Harbor for the Marine Patrol. Units watch your key, open key, citywide 1. Units watch your key, open key, citywide 1. Alright, bring in the headquarters. Bring in the headquarters, if you can copy, there's an open key. There's the boat capsized, we got people on the water. Once we got a boat capsized, we got people on the water. You copy? Okay, I'm assuming that's you copying over the open, 7 Charlie. Bring in the headquarters. I got a boat in the entrance of the harbor.
Boat capsized, huh?
About 3. 733 Charlie. Bring in the headquarters. I got a boat in the entrance of the harbor. At Montrose Harbor. It says boat at the entrance for harbor. About 300 feet. Maybe it's blocking the harbor entrance. I got details. Montrose Harbor for the Marine Distress. Units watch your key, open key citywide 1. Units watch your key, open key citywide 1. Alright, Marine headquarters. Marine headquarters, if you can copy, there's an open key. There's the boat capsized. We got people on the water. Once again, the boat capsized, we got people on the water. You copy? Okay, I'm assuming that you copying over the open key. Okay, the key closed. So the boat is at the entrance. It says the boat capsized. So I think one person's on top, 2 people in the water. Marine headquarters, you copy? That's what I copy. You can show on 7 around. Hey, so where's that boat at? We can take a quick peek. Montrose Harbor. Unison A on Citywide Battery in progress. 55 Pulaski, 57 Pulaski. Home is male black. Speeding a male Hispanic. One last thing on the green cap, blue shirt, gray pants.
Boat capsized, one on top of the hull and 2 in the water.
7385 Charlie. 85 Charlie. 87 on the red light, please. 10612.
Boat capsized.
7 Charlie. 787 Charlie. Bus number 8021 on Garfield Mansion. Take it back number 10616. 10616. 383 Frank. 83 Frank. That number for Red Line Platform 35th Street. Take it back 10621. 10621. 83 Heavy. 7383 Edgar. 7383 Edgar. So take it along 6545 North Clark. 10633. 215. Hey, Bob. I'm on. Can you show me up to 6 citizen to 1528 South Lava?
Looks dangerous, don't it?
10649.
I don't even want to go close to that thing. Alright, let's get out of here. That's enough of sinkhole cam, right? You guys got enough of that? M20, Marine 20.
Yes, it's 3 in Citywide, criminal trespass in progress, 51 East 71st Street, the Family Dollar, male black people at the store, low haircut, white shirt, gray pants, black socks, blue shoes, no further information, zone 7 clear.
It's a dangerous spot over there.
Number 1. Alright, there is a boat on inside here. Looks like there's 3 people hanging onto it. They all have life vests. Looks like they got other boats around them trying to help them out. Alright, M20, you copy?
That's all moving.
Bring in headquarters, M20, you copy?
That guy went so slow you could see all the rocks moving. Watch. See the rocks? One more time, I want to show you. Those rocks are all moving. That's a sinkhole. It's going to drop. Is there a car coming? One more car. I'll show you. When they go slow over it, you can see all of those rocks move. It's really dangerous. I guess we'll get out.
10675. 10675.
One more I'll show you here. Right, from this angle. See that there? See that? See how the rocks move? Those big rocks are moving. That's dangerous, man.
7383 King. Oh, you know, disregard.
See that?
Disregard. 3211.
One more time. Watch. See the rocks moving? Pretty dangerous, ain't it? I don't think you should be driving on that. That street should be closed.
3211. I got a ladder in the lane of traffic. 6800 South Chicago Skyway outbound.
Ladder in traffic on the Skyway, 68th Street, outbound.
925 units in a 9th District, Kansas City West. Again, a person with a gun at 47th and Wireless. Coming up with details and followers. The male white in the red and white tow truck, no plates. Just flashed the gun at the car lot in front of the red light at 47. The tow truck was last seen headed northbound on Wireless at 47th Street. Nothing further at this time. No, 13 is clear.
This is a CTA station in back of us.
It looks like with all the help, people were able to get the boat back upright. We got the pretty occupants back on the boat.
Oh, that's wonderful. 20 is your copy? Or were you headquarters?
There, you see how bad that street was there?
John.
85 John.
Airline check in, sir. Matt, can I get an event number?
10716. 10716.
People helped right side the boat and they're getting the people back on. So it must have been one of those small sailboats or something, right? You ain't gonna right size one of those big ones. So it must have been a sailboat or something. That's good news there. People helping people, right? This was the bad area here. Remember we seen all the zombies over here? That was bad over here. What was it, last week during the storms,
I'm
right?
40 units 8 on Citywide, that's in progress, 2414 Southwestern, 2414 Southwestern, Family Dollar. Female, black, gray shirt, black shorts inside, still in nothing further, zone 6, station clear.
This is where the ambulance crashed. The guy hijacked an ambulance, crashed right here.
Seven 4754.
4754.
We're up on Buffalo.
4754. I'm sorry, I couldn't have it.
Down here in the 4th District, they clear up on Buffalo for that offender search.
Indiana plates running around the west side. What do you guys think about that? Think that's legit there? Couple of guys riding around in that car right there with Indiana plates in the middle of the west side. It's 6:30. You think that's legit? Think they're doing legal business here in the city? You think they are? Two guys in there? I don't think so.
Yeah, it looks like they cleared out of there.
people got unruly.
What happened unruly?
Sign number, please.
Sure, it is
754.
4754.
We're up on Buffalo.
4754. I'm sorry, I couldn't have you.
Down here in the 4th District. They clear up on Buffalo for that offender search.
Let me check.
7363.
Notice the new buildings?
4754. Yeah, it looks like they cleared out of there. People got unruly.
Sign number, please.
There you go.
Sure, it is 10228. 10228.
So did you hear that, right? So the Buffalo call, the cops left. Listen to this clearly.
7363.
This is an important call. Listen to this one.
4754. Yeah, it looks like they cleared out of there because the people got unruly.
Sign number, please.
CPD cleared out of there because there was a large unruly crowd.
10228.
One more time. You need to listen to that. So that means we're in danger, right?
85 George. Can we get a red line check at Garfield?
10759. 10759.
2385 David.
One more time. Listen to this. This is the one where the guy was shooting. I'm Buffalo.
14 Southwestern. This is 14 Southwestern. Family Dollar. Female, black, gray shirt, black shorts inside. Still in nothing further. Zone 6. Station clear.
754.
4754.
We're up on Buffalo.
4754. I'm sorry, I couldn't have you.
Down here in the 4th District. They clear up on Buffalo for that offender search.
Let me check.
7363.
4754. Yeah, it looks like they cleared out of there because the people got unruly.
Sign number, please.
Sure, it is 10228. 10228.
Event 10228, right?
500.
7385 George. Can we get a red line check at Garfield?
10759. 10759.
That was 132 Buffalo, right?
754.
4754.
We're up on Buffalo.
4754. I'm sorry, I couldn't have you.
Down here in the 4th District. They clear up on Buffalo for that offender search.
Let me check.
7363.
4754. Yeah, it looks like they cleared out of there because the people got unruly.
Sign number, please.
Sure, it is 10228. 10228.
There you go. You just heard it.
8500.
7385.
So what happens to the domestic abuse person who just called the police to get help and the cops just left? Think about that. Someone called the police saying there's shooting down there and it's domestic related. You should get down here. The guy runs away, hides in the weeds. Cops come down there. A bunch of gang-banging criminal dope dealers threaten them, and the cops leave. So do you think I got a chance downtown with the cops protecting me? Absolutely not. None of us do. The cops ain't protecting none of us. But when a cop gets shot, or there's shots fired, or they shoot each other, there's 100 cops that come around. Every time there's a cop shot, right, they send a bunch of cops there. But guess what they did when somebody's in trouble in a domestic call? Oh, let's get out of here. They're being mean to us. You just heard it. That's what you just heard. You want to hear one more time? I'll play it for you. You can hear it yourself. You can decide here. You can decide what you hear is what I just said. Listen to this. Remember, there was a call about a domestic issue, shots fired, 136 in Buffalo. Guy ran away, hiding in the woods down there in the weeds. I know that area. Then they said there might be a second guy hiding. So they're looking for him. Helicopters, blah, 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 right? In the middle of it, you had a capsized boat. Now listen up. Listen up.
Female, black, gray shirt, black shorts and shorts. Still in
Next call, listen up.
W54. We're
4754.
up on Buffalo.
4754. I'm sorry, I couldn't have you.
Down here in the 4th District. They clear up on Buffalo for that offender search.
Let me check.
7363.
4754. Yeah, it looks like they cleared out of there. People got unruly.
Sign number, please.
Sure. It is 10228. 10228.
So, cop shows up, says, I'm here. What happened to everybody? And she goes, oh, they cleared out. Just give me the event number. That means he went there. So guess what? A couple of guys with guns are running around, gonna take care of whatever they're gonna take care of, right?
10759.
You just heard it.
10759.
That's right here. That just happened at 631. It just happened, right?
85 David.
Event number for 79th Red Line.
And you got guys hanging up the mayor's sign. See that there?
10761.
See the signs there? See the signs? They're all over the city. See that there? Where are we at? Leamington and...
And I'll take a check at Belmont Blue, please.
We're at Leamington and Chicago, right?
10765. 10765.
13.
3213.
The moment we arrived.
I don't even know what kind of sign that is, man. That's some bootleg sign, right?
1833 on the clock.
Thank you, Ramona.
Anytime, Barb. There's always a laugh for me. I'm really gonna miss your laugh when I retire. I'm gonna be retiring soon, Barb.
Baby, not you, Ramona.
She's not going anywhere.
Okay, right. She's the OT girl.
Exactly. She would miss that OT way too much.
Bro.
I'll be retired before her.
So, Billy.
There you go. Leamington and Chicago. Bootleg Brandon Johnson sign. No Union bugs on it. It's all bootlegged up, man. That ain't no regular sign there. That's a bootleg sign, man. Who's paying for that?
10808. 10808.
Who's paying for these? Who's paying for these? Who approves them and who installs them and who puts them out here? Somebody must be giving orders to city workers to do this illegal campaigning. There you go. SubX.News. Leamington in Chicago. Bootleg, illegal, Brandon Johnson sign paid for by the taxpayers of the city of Chicago. There you go. There you go. Beautiful, ain't it? Where's the Union bug? Ain't got one, that's why. Bootleg, illegal, Brandon Johnson political sign paid for city of Chicago taxpayers at Chicago and Leamington, 6:40 p.m., July 7, 2026. Thanks for waiting for me. Bootleg, illegal. And we're going to listen to Ramona retiring, right? Ramona just said she's retiring. That's sad, right? We got to record that one, right? All right, we're going to get out of here because this is a little dangerous corner here, right? Let's get out of here. This is a little dangerous here, right? man, there's all kinds of activity up there. See that there? Should we go through that alley? Let's see that. No, I don't know. I'm not going through that alley there. It looks a little dangerous to me. See, I told you that's a migrant there. That ain't no Mexican. I told you there's migrants out there. So we're at Leamington in Chicago, right? There's another migrant right there, man. Those are migrants, man.
Very uncomfortable. It says male Hispanic wearing a black shirt. Threatening him with a gun. Open line, no response.
How did they get these houses? How did an illegal migrant figure out to move into the west side? How did that happen? How do you think that happened, huh? That's wild, huh? How did that magic happen? You think the Republicans knew about that? Absolutely. They do FHA loans. Who do you think owns the banks? We're like, man, look at that crazy pothole there, man. Look at that. That thing is about 12 inches deep, man. Look at that sucker right there, man. Man, that's deep there. You don't want to hit that one. You break your rim open. Even with mine. That's bad there. Yeah, who do you think? FHA loans, bank loans. Don't you have to have credit cards and you have to have all of your Social Security or IEN numbers? Who runs that stuff? The Republicans run all of that, right? Don't they? Yeah. Telling me they don't hear it. I'll show you this house right in back of me. There's a brand new house right in back of me. We'll go over here, right? So now we're up a little more north, right? We're just a little west. We were south yesterday. We were by Madison area. Now we're on Chicago. So we're a little more north, right? Ramona tells Barbara she's retiring. Ramona tells Barbara she's retiring. Alright, we're gonna pull over here. I'm gonna do this next. Did you see that? You're gonna see a bunch of new houses in here. Is this a Hispanic neighborhood? Are you telling me it's a Hispanic neighborhood? Hispanics live up here. I don't remember that one. Little one or two, maybe a mile north of here. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know the history of every neighborhood. Maybe that's my fault, right? We're going to pull over in one of these gas stations over to see how bad it is, right? Oh, man, they're doing drugs.
385 Ida.
I come here usually at night. There you go, man. It looks like a trap house or something there, right?
10927, 10927.
Wild up here, ain't it? No store. See that? It's abandoned.
385 Frank.
I don't even know where the hell I'm at right now.
VIN number 630 in the red line.
Laramie. That's where I'm at.
10932, 10932.
For the units in one in the citywide, a battery in progress, 37 North Displays is anonymous for 7 to 10 people fighting. Nothing further, some for clear.
That's the homeless guys.
For the units in the 12th district in the citywide, getting out ticket shots fired. 370 North Displays. That's Displays to the south of Kinsey. A caller said they heard 2 shots. I got nothing further. It was on 3.
That's drugs over there, right? That's Displays. 37 Displays. That's the drug area. That's a drug area. We just got out of there, right?
Units in 10 and citywide, we're in assault in progress. 2505 Southwestern, 2505 Southwestern. Male caller states that he's not happy with the work that was performed in his vehicle, and the workers are threatening him to get off the property. As Spanish interpreter. Nothing further. Zone 10, District 10, clear.
I gotta upload that Ramona video, and we're gonna figure out what's going on this plains.
1833 on the clock.
Thank you, Ramona. 13.
3213.
The moon with the right.
Okay, 10-4. 1833 on the clock.
Thank you, Ramona.
Anytime, Barb. There's always a laugh for me. I'm really gonna miss your laugh when I retire. I'm gonna be retiring soon, Barb.
Not you, Ramona.
She's not going anywhere.
Okay, right. She's the OT girl.
Exactly. She would miss that OT way too much.
Bro.
I'll be retired before her.
So Billy.
7 Charlie. 87 Charlie.
Transfer bus number 1434, 45th National.
10808, 10808.
8580.
8580.
Numbers for 69 rescue.
Take event 10811, 10811.
85 Adam.
85 Adam.
The number for the red line at 95th Street, please.
10821, 10821.
7387 Adam.
7387 Adam.
29th Street bus, east from Ashland.
Take event 10852, 10850.
And what's happening on this plains, right? They're fighting, shooting on this plains. That's a drug area.
I'm for the Unison 8 on the citywide. We got a person with a gun at 5-2 in Costner, 5-2 in Costner. Very uncooperative. It says male Hispanic wearing a black shirt, threatening him with a gun. Open line, no response. Multiple people yelling at the further zone 5th basically.
Go ahead.
Call, I get 30 minutes, 8801 South Chicago Highway.
Fighting and shooting, 37th and Des Plaines.
Alright, 10-4-11.
385 Ida.
7385 Ida.
Number for the 35th Street, red line.
10927, 10927.
385 Frank.
85 Frank, huh?
Vent number 630 in the red line.
10932, 10932.
For the Unison 1 in the citywide, a battery in progress, 37 North Des Plaines is anonymous.
385. 385 Frank.
37 North Des Plaines.
Vent number
That's in
630 in the red line.
downtown. That's downtown.
10932, 10932.
For the Unison 1 in the citywide, a battery in progress, 37 North Des Plaines is anonymous. For 7 to 10 people fighting, nothing further, some for clear.
For the units in the 12th district in the citywide, getting a ticket of shots fired. 370 North Des Plaines. That's Des Plaines just south of Kinsey. A caller said they heard 2 shots. I got nothing further. Zone 3.
Units in 10 and citywide, we're in assault in progress. 2505 Southwestern, 2505 Southwestern. Male caller states that he's not happy with the work that was performed in his vehicle, and the workers are threatening him to get off the property. As Spanish interpreter. Nothing further. Zone 10, District 10, clear.
3383 John.
7383 John.
For our event with the person stuck on the elevator, can we get a party for 5081, please?
Alright, take John King, 324-378. 324-378. Your event is 102-49-102-49.
87 Charlie.
7387 Charlie.
Bus number 1556 on 48th and Ashland.
Alright, take event 10986, 10986.
7389, boy.
89, boy.
Blue Line Racing.
10997.
For the unit 7 on Citywide, the robbery just occurred 1600 West 59th Street, 1600 West 59th Street at Jimmy's Famous Burgers. William Wood stated he was robbed in front of Jimmy's by an unknown offender with a gun and a knife. Cell phone, backpack, wallet, other items were stolen. Caller has no description of the purchase. Zone 6 station.
83 Lincoln.
83 Lincoln.
Take that number for Chicago on the red.
Take event 11021, 11021.
For the unit 7 on Citywide, the robbery just occurred 1600 West 59th Street, 1600 West 59th Street at Jimmy.
10997, 10997.
For the unit 7 on Citywide, the robbery just occurred 1600 West 59th Street, 1600 West 59th Street at Jimmy's Famous Burgers. William Wood stated he was robbed in front of Jimmy's by an unknown offender with a gun and a knife. Cell phone, backpack, wallet, other items were stolen. Caller has no description of the purchase. Zone 6 station.
1600 West 59th, right?
For the unit 7 on Citywide, the robbery just occurred 1600 West 59th Street, 1600 West 59th Street at Jimmy's Famous Burgers.
That's
William
Ashland,
Wood
right?
He was robbed in front of Jimmy's by an unknown offender with a gun and a knife. Cell phone, backpack, wallet, other items were stolen. Caller has no description of the purchase. Zone 6 station.
83 Lincoln.
83 Lincoln.
Take that number for
Cell
Chicago on
phone,
the red.
wallet, and backpack all taken. Use the gun and a knife.
11021, 11021.
Units in 20 and the Citywide, we're getting a person with a gun over at 5339 North Helena. Dispute altercation with the male black neighbor, was knocking on his door trying to hurt the family.
Cell
Blue shirt,
phone,
blue
wallet,
jeans, also
and
had his gun that
backpack
he did
taken.
pants on. No further, don't let us clear. Units in
385 Charlie.
85 Charlie, guy.
87 on the red line, please.
11061. 85 David.
Up to the 79th red, please.
11064, 11064.
395 David.
95 David.
Please get one for medical blue.
Take event number 11064.
We're caught up on our radio calls. So we had a boat capsized and citizens fixed it. We had some kind of a domestic shooting or something happened down 136th Street, which the cops left after a crowd went after them. We got a couple of robberies happening, right?
Give me an ambulance at Midway for intoxicated passengers.
Alright, 10-4. I'm sorry, 7395 David, your event number was 11089, 11089. And 7303, take 11093, 11093.
So this happens every day. And when the cops leave, there's no report. So the shooting is not a shooting anymore. Everybody understands how the statistics get manipulated? First of all, mass shootings aren't counted as multiple people shot. They're one event.
7303, you got ambulance 78 headed over there.
And when the cops leave, it isn't a shooting anymore. It's whatever. That's how it works. That's how the numbers get jacked up. It's called juking the stat. Look it up, man. I've written about this long time ago. I wrote about this when they put the comp stat stuff in.
7387 Adam.
87 Adam.
See, they put the comp stat in under Gary McCarthy, I believe, and Ron Huberman, right? That guy's jacked up right there. See him right there? He's jacked up. See him right there? Everybody's jacked up out here, man. They're walking around all high and shit. They're all around here. Ron Huberman did the first stuff. He did the assessments. And then he had guys come in, like Gary McCarthy, who brought CompStat in. He brought that from the East Coast. Gary McCarthy was from the East Coast. I don't know if it was Jersey or where he came from, but he came from the East Coast somewhere. So they used the CompStat to, and there's a Chicago Magazine article written about this. The medical examiner's office works hand in hand, so does the clerk, and how they do death certificates, how they code debts, all of that. They're all county levels, right? These guys. So Gary McCarthy comes in, brings CompStat in, and they code all the crimes. So guess what happens right away? All the crime goes down. Guess what just happened under Brandon Johnson? He took ShotSpotter away. He said, oh, there's less shootings. Well, yeah, because you're not counting the shootings anymore. You're counting when the cops find somebody shot. Maybe, right? Maybe. Well, like this one on 136 in Buffalo, that won't be counted as nothing. That's zero. That's a non-shooting. It's a non-shooting. But there's a shooting. Kind of get it? So they brought in all of this data, and they coded it a certain way to drop the crime rates. That was under Gary McCarthy and Rahm Emanuel. Rahm Emanuel fired him after LaQuan went down. Then Lightfoot came in, Adam Toledo, and all those weird laws and policies where you can't chase, you can't shoot, you can't arrest teenagers. All of that came about the last 5 or 6 years, 7 years. So CompStat's still there, and it counts numbers. All CompStat does is count. It doesn't do anything else. 7 o'clock news. And let me finish this. But the problem is when you ignore crime, the numbers go up. No matter what you keep saying. You can't keep saying the numbers are down because the actual shootings are happening and people are dying. So they can't cover that up. It's more difficult to cover up a dead body, but they can do that too. I'll talk about that another time. This is 7 o'clock news. Chicago Magazine, look it up. I posted it a few times. Yeah, they use the coroner's office to cover up crime too.
I'm Dave Thacker. A New York high-rise that was being converted from offices to apartments began to buckle today, leading to nearby evacuations. ABC's Aaron Katursky is there.
Around 8 a.m., construction workers began noticing a structural column on the 21st floor starting to warp. Then investigators found multiple cracks and the floors beginning to cave. Authorities evacuated the building and at least 9 others nearby, including a hotel and school.
So I walked into the office. I was there for about 10 minutes, and then they were like, all right, everybody out, evacuate, get out now.
Bumper-to-bumper traffic stretching for blocks.
And we've now learned that temporary shoring of the impacted building will begin soon. CENTCOM confirming powerful airstrikes against Iran in response to earlier Iranian attacks on vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. What about that memorandum of understanding? ABC News contributor Mick Mulroy.
So I think the United States is frustrated that it's not getting where it thought it would be from this MOU, and they're going after the locations that Iran would use, is using to attack these commercial vessels.
While in Turkey for the NATO summit, President Trump called out NATO allies over Iran. ABC's Karen Travers traveling with the president.
He started right out in his first on-camera appearance expressing that frustration with European leaders in NATO, talking about how he asked them to get involved in the war with Iran and used it as almost a loyalty test. Those countries, of course, did not budge and did not help the United States. The president saying, we spend billions.
Remember I showed you that house yesterday by Madison? I forget where it was. Let me show you this. I don't know, we're on Central now. You see that there? You see that round area there where the parapet is? Or the, what do you call that up there? You see those windows? They're circular. See that there? Those are round with their curved windows. Remember that brick building I showed you yesterday? It was a 2-flat or a 3-flat. And I said, hey, that's a really expensive building. It had the square windows. They never put the round ones in. They did replacement windows. But that's what it used to be over there. Round windows in the old days mean you were rich. That's how you tell rich people's houses from poor people's houses in the old days. If they had curved glass. Stained glass was also rich in the early days, and then when the bungalow belt happened, they mass-produced stained glass, so then it became less expensive, those houses. But if you got a bungalow with the original woodwork and the original stained glass, you could probably get a good $500,000 for it nowadays. Bungalows are going for about $500,000 now. We got all the original stuff. Some of them, they knock them out, make them open plans because of the way they're built. Because, you know, those are just joists going across. I think those are 12 bys going across there. No, they might be 8 bys. I think they're not 12 bys. They're 8 bys. Across. That's how they build those bungalows. All right, let's see what else is going on.
1119. Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 1059 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
The time now is 7:03 on Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. Good evening. I'm Glenn Marshall, and currently we're sitting around 83 degrees under mostly sunny skies here in Chicago. It's going to be mostly clear tonight with a low of 67 degrees, and tomorrow warm and humid with a high of 89 degrees and a low of 72 degrees with warm and sticky temps tomorrow night. Of course, we're going to look at that AccuWeather 5-day forecast. That's coming up at 7:15, but right now our top story on News Radio WBBM. A family demanding answers and accountability from those in charge of a Rolling Meadows group home after a deadly discovery earlier this year. WBBM's Andy Dane reports.
Emily Kasenga lived at the Community Integrated Living Arrangement, or CELA, group home operated by Clearbrook for over a decade. And attorney Margaret Battersby Black says promises were made in the form of a comprehensive health care plan for Kasenga's autism and swallowing disorder.
That plan required simple, life-saving measures for staff to supervise Emily while she ate, to cut up her food. And that was a plan that was in place to prevent exactly what happened here.
A new wrongful death lawsuit claims that on April 25th, days after Kasenga celebrated her 34th birthday, she was given food and left unsupervised. When a Clearbrook employee found her choking, the suit says they instructed other residents to perform the Heimlich maneuver. Kasenga died at the scene.
The lawsuit that we filed is about accountability. It's about a promise that Clearbrook made to this family and to the state of Illinois.
Ashley Kasenga says autism did not define her sister.
It's unbelievable. Someone who had been destined for failure overcame that. And just for something like this to happen, for her to be gone, my family will never be the same.
Andy Dane, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Now, WBBM has reached out to Clearbrook for comment. So far, we have not received a response. Mayor Johnson says the city's 2026 budget is $130 million short, and he blames opponents in city council who passed revenue that he says underperformed. The mayor says he's working on next year's budget and is interested in implementing a millionaire's tax.
It's why, again, I've already started conversations about next year's budget with Speaker Welch. He wants a millionaire's tax. So do I. But most importantly, the people of Chicago and this state want a millionaire's tax.
Johnson's opponents accused the mayor of failing to aggressively implement the budget and blame him for credit downgrades and what they are saying ballooning budget deficits. A new bill makes it more affordable for Illinoisans to attend beauty school.
The bill signed into law by Governor Pritzker creates an apprentice program.
So do you notice, if you notice this, and we'll end with this. So we listened to the Brandon Johnson talking about the budget. It's a budget hole. It's their fault. It's their fault. But he's the mayor. It's not their fault. It's his fault. He's the mayor. Look at that, man. Another pothole. Man, how many potholes? Deep ones. That's a deep one there. And you can't see because it's past the, whatchamacallit. We seen a guy out here all messed up a few weeks ago. And he keeps blaming other people, but he's the mayor. He's the mayor. It's not anybody else's fault. It's his fault. But if you listen to the first news segments, right? He started talking about progressive revenue. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But if you listen to him, you can hear that he's lying because of what he says, but they just cut it out of this one. I'll have to go back and play you the tape. I'm going to play you the tape of the 2 newscasts, and by the time it gets to the 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th newscast, the people that work for Brandon Johnson will call up the news media and say, why are you saying that? We didn't say that. And they'll delete it from the newscast. Why? Because when the news guy is there and the live feed, right, he's interviewing the mayor, right? He's got one of those tape recorders, and they just tape what he says. They throw up the tape on the news. And then when they listen to it, they take it out. So what I'm going to do is, this is why I'm talking about this right now, I'm going to get you the 2 clips and show you the difference, right? And he's talking about a millionaire's tax now, and he talks about this and that. They didn't talk about that the earlier time, a little bit. But you're going to listen to how he talks about the failures of others when it's actually his fault that there's a budget deficit, right? That's his fault. And the main thing you got to listen to, and this is why I keep saying this, and I'm going to shut up pretty soon. The first thing he said in those earlier clips was what? No layoffs. Who's getting laid off? Not you or me. City workers. When's the election? February. What did you just tell them? I won't lay you off. Vote for me. He just said that on the radio, but they cut that out of the clip. I'm going to play you the earlier clips because it's on this video live feed. I'll pull the clip out and I'll put the 2 clips next to each other. So he's telling the city workers, I'm not laying none of you off. And what did one person, when he talked about layoffs, say? It's a bloated budget. If you have 100,000 or 1 million people less in CPS, it's 100,000 less students, and they just got a $10 billion a year budget. So they got less students but increased their spending. Well, if you got less students in CPS, there's 100,000 less students in CPS. How many less students you think in Chicago? It might be 500,000 less. 500,000 or 1 million, right? Because every kid has 2 people around them, 2 parents, a brother or sister. So think about that. 100,000 less students in CPS. That translates to at least 500,000 to 1 million less residents, which we know it's less, right? So let's say 500,000. So if the population decreases, then what? Then you should cut your workforce, because that means you don't need that many people working. That don't mean you fire them. That don't mean be mean to them. You can, like I talked about in the past, because I did union contracts, you can create early retirements, you can do buyouts, you can do special provisions, you can do waivers, you can do all kinds of things to help people who are like 45, 50, even in their 30s and 35s if they want to retire. Think about it. If you worked since you're 18 and you're 38, that's 20 years. You can give them a buyout. Say, look, I know you can't collect your pension because you got to wait till your 60s, but this is what I'll do. We'll give you an early buyout. Somehow we'll work it out. You got to figure out that language. I don't know what that language would be. A pension person would have to do that. I think I wrote it up once. I don't remember it right now. And you say, look, you retire at 20, you leave, you're not quitting. It's an early retirement. That's how we're going to mark it, and you got to negotiate that with the unions. You won't get penalized, and we're going to let you, I told you guys this plan before, and you can work for another department, but you start low on seniority. But you don't lose your retirement. And if you want to collect some of that retirement right now, you won't be penalized. And you have to make a deal with the state, I think maybe feds. You got to make all kinds of deals. But if you're a deal maker, kind of get where I'm going with this. If you believe in, we're going to go here and we'll stop here. I showed you guys this place at night. So I like this place. It's a metal factory. There used to be an L train stop here and it's shut down. And that's what you do, right? Let's see this. If you run out of money, then what do you got to do? You make a deal and you figure it out. And if you're a wheeler and dealer, and like Brandon Johnson always says, I'm an organizer. I did all these great things. I was a commissioner. I was in the union. I was a teacher. I love my kids. I do all of this great stuff. I'm the greatest man in the world and the greatest city in the world and freaking this and freaking that, right? He says that, right? Well, why isn't he making a deal? If the union is so powerful, why aren't they making a deal? And if the union is the labor organization and they understand how to save jobs and how to save an economy, they would be doing cuts and early retirements. Yet they're not. And why? Because they're not what they say they are. They don't care about the workers. They don't care about the city. They care about their own political power. That's what they care about. And you hear a mayor that blames other people for the budget shortcomings. And he blames other people. And he says, look, I'm going to protect your jobs. None of you are getting laid off. Make sure you vote for me. That's why he fires guys like Snelling and those Gadleys and all of those. Those are guys that got fired earlier in the year from the safety, right? Here, let me show you this. This used to be an L train stop. You see this here? See what happens over time? Look at this. See the L train there? That's the Forest Park line there. Or O'Hare line? I don't know which one it is. See that there? There used to be an L train right there. There's so much work here at one time. See the L stop? It doesn't work anymore, right? Shut down. That's the way life goes. I mean, it's nothing big. Things move on. But when you have somebody who lies to you about the budget and purports to be a labor organizer, imagine how much power you could have if you were a real labor organizer. You're a real one, not a fake one like he is. And Stacey Davis Gates a fake one, right? From South Bend and one from Elgin. Then you could make deals. That's the difference between them and a Donald Trump. It's kind of weird, but he can make deals. So there you go, right? I'll get out and show you where I'm at. This is an old forge here. This is a forge. They make steel here. Check this out. This used to be all over. Remember I told you the Finkel steel was the last one in that area? But this one is still here, right? I think this is I don't know if this is a tool and die or what is it? I don't know what the name of this place is. See this? It's a nice place. I love it. See, that's the empty train track there. It's an abandoned train station. It happens, right? I think it's a forge. It might be tool and die. I don't know what it is. But check this out. This is what they make here. See that there? I love this place. I do the sunsets over here sometimes. There's some homeless guy. See that there? I don't know what that guy's. See that there? Look. Pretty cool, huh? Made out of steel. In honor. Where's that guy going, huh? In honor of our forefathers' hands. For they were the greatest artists of all. Designed and sculptured by Philip C. Larson, blacksmithing by Adam Coperneri. 2002. See that there? Check that out. It's pretty wild, ain't it? Pretty cool, huh? Somebody lost their glass, huh? There you go. I'll tell you where I'm at. It's nice. Come out and see this. And that's two pieces. Check this out. See, this is one piece. See how heavy this is? That's another piece. And they're connected by this piece. Pretty cool, huh? Notice that? Check that out. See that? These are two different pieces. And that one is connected by this. Pretty cool, huh? SubX.News. Yes, we do different things. We do different stuff. This is positive, right? That's positive. Not a guy that says, I'm going to keep your jobs even though I have a bloated budget, right? That's not positive. And you can have recall procedures to call people back and all that if you make deals with them. But that's not what we have as a mayor. There you go. SubX.News. We're going to sign off. Let me tell you where I'm at. If you want to see this sculpture. Where am I at? We're at Anderson Schumacher. That's what this place is. I think it's a forge. They might have a forge here, right? They're forging, metalworking, and blacksmithing here, right? Alrighty, take it easy. That's what Chicago used to do. Now we got something else going on. Have a good night. It's 7:17 p.m. July 7th, 2026. Have a good night. If something happens, I'll go back on live.